Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to the Sports Corner Live. Once again, back for the Champions League group stages, match day number 2. And today we have groups E to H of the competition to keep our eyes on. If you were with us last night, it was a very interesting start to match day 2 with plenty of goals, plenty of surprises, and some incredible comebacks in the Champions League. And of course, it's going to be interesting to see here what goes on in this evening's games. Now, of course, we've got to go through the teams and the lineups in just a moment. I'm trying to keep my eyes out on tonight's derby game as a local Rotherham fan. We're playing right now. The game's suspended from what I've just seen on the pitch, which is very annoying. I don't know what's really happened, but we're going to go through the lineups. Of course, we've got about 10 minutes until we start with the games. And just seeing Alfie in the stream, he says, "Hi, man. What do you think of the scores between Man U and Leipzig?" I'm going to hold that question for a second, Alfie, because we'll talk about that in just a moment's time. But let's go for the lineups. As I said, games do kick off in about 10 minutes' time. So let's see what happens. And tonight, our main game to keep our eyes out on, and the game that I've got the very lucky thing of being able to watch, is that game between Juventus and Barcelona. Great game on paper. Unfortunately tonight without Cristiano Ronaldo, but you can see the lineup on the screen for Juventus and Barcelona. It's a 3-4-3 for the Italian side today. Szczesny in goal, back three of Danilo, Bonucci and Demiral, Turkish centre-back. Midfield 4 of Kulusevski, Rabiot, Bentancur and Cuadrado. And then up top tonight we have Chiesa, Morata and Dybala on the right wing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, of course. Just on the stream saying, what a game. Hopefully mean that about Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham. And Reasons for, yes, lad, how are you doing, buddy? Hope you're all good, as always. So that is the Juventus lineup. This is the Barcelona team tonight. It's a 4-2-3-1 for the Spanish side, who, of course, just recently lost El Clasico to Real Madrid. Neto is in goal. Back 4 of Jordi Alba, Longley, Araujo and Sergio Roberto. A midfield 2 of De Jong, Pjanic. Attacking 3 of Griezmann, Pedri and Dembele. And then up top is Lionel Messi. So strong teams out on the pitch tonight for both sides. Of course, as we said before, there has been a few changes in this game in terms of Ronaldo not being able to play. So we're going to have to find out what happens there in a moment's time. So that's the game that I'm going to be covering tonight. Move on to the next game, which is Club Brugge against Lazio. This game is quite interesting indeed because there's a rivalry on the pitch tonight in the Champions League, but there's also a rivalry in the Sports Corner tonight because Will is a Sheffield Wednesday fan. I'm a Rotherham fan. The game has been called off for now. But Will, how are you doing, buddy? How are you all good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Got major shitty arse right now because of the Rotherham game. But yeah, they've just called the game off now. But as you can see on the screen, Club Brugge and Lazio playing. It's a very interesting game, this one. 3-5-2 for Club Brugge tonight. Mignolet is in goal. Back 3 of Deli. Kusu, it's a bloody odd name to pronounce this one. Kusu, I'm just going to go with that. Kusu is his name right now. And Clinton Mata at the back. Midfield 5 of Sabol, Vanaken, Ritz, Vorma and Diatta. And then up top tonight, Bonaventure and Deketi Laure. That is for Club Brugge. And then Lazio tonight. Interesting, they are missing 9 of their main players due to COVID. Pepe Reina starts in goal. Strakosha being one of those players that is out. Back 3 of Acerbi, Wesley Hoyt and Patrick. Midfield 5 of Fares, Milinkovic-Savic, Parolo, Akpro and Marisic. And then up top tonight, Felipe Caicedo and Correa. It is a bit of an interesting game, this one, Will, because as I said before, there's 9 players out for Lazio tonight. It's going to be a tricky challenge, but do you think that Lazio side can hold up to a very interesting Club Brugge side?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, like you say. Obviously, both won on match day 1. Lazio obviously got a big win over Dortmund and Club Brugge beat Zenit. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. You've got the 2 group leaders, but with Lazio having so many players out, I'm going to be interested to see how they respond. Club Brugge have got to go into this game with a lot of confidence because won the first game, and there's no reason why they can't beat Lazio tonight. So I think it's going to be a very interesting game on paper. But we'll have to see what happens.
We'll have to indeed. Hopefully, it should be a good game between Club Brugge and Lazio. Thank you very much, Will. We'll bring you back in just a moment's time. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Christian, hi, lads. So you're all well. Welcoming Chris, so you're good as always. Jocelyn putting Mignolet, lol. Don't take them again. I mean, like, great goalkeepers in the Champions League. He's up against Pepe Reina tonight. Of course, 2 former Liverpool goalkeepers. And then Reasons put, how are we doing, boys? We're all good as always. I'll bring the boys in a second, see how they're all doing. And then Sasha's put Pjanic starting for Barcelona. Yeah, so there's some interesting choices tonight in this Club Brugge Lazio game. We're going to move on to the next game now, which is Borussia Dortmund. They're taking on Zenit tonight. And to watch this game, well, to give you a bit of background context, he wanted to watch this game tonight because of Sardar Azmoun. He's not playing tonight, unfortunately, but he's going to get a good game either way. Some fantastic players on the pitch. It is Kieran L. How are we doing, buddy?
We're doing fantastic, Josh. We're doing. It was. I was looking forward to it more before I figured out he was injured, but I'm doing well.
Hopefully, it's a good game without him tonight. But let's quickly go through the lineups. Of course, we're about 4 minutes away from kickoff. Roma Becky is back in goal in the Champions League for Dortmund tonight. Back four of Rafael Guerreiro, Hummels, Akanji, and Thomas Meunier. Defensive midfield two of Axel Witsel and Mahmoud Dahoud. Attacking three of Reina, Royce, and Sancho. And up top tonight, of course, is Erling Haaland being on fire recently for Borussia Dortmund in terms of scoring goals. And this is your Zenit lineup tonight, of course, for the Russian champions. Kurzakov is in goal. A back four of Douglas Santos, Rakitsky, Lovren, and Karavayev. Midfield three of Erkin, Barrios, that is Wilmar Barrios, of course, Colombian midfielder, and Wendell, just recently signed from Sporting Lisbon. And then up top tonight, they've got Kuzayev, Juba, and Driussi. Of course, the main man for you, Sardar Azmoun, is out tonight. But Dortmund, they've got a lot of pressure on them tonight to win this game. They lost to Lazio. Do you think they can get a result tonight at their own ground?
Yeah, and I think it's important for Zenit as well, who were really disappointing at home to Club Bruges. They obviously lost, so they are in back against the wall territory, even for a Europa League spot at this point. So I know Artem Dzyuba, he'll cause problems wherever he goes. You know, he likes to bully centre-backs, and that's just what he is with his large frame. So maybe he can try and really bring this Zenit team into the game. But I'm expecting a pretty routine win for Dortmund, even though they've not impressed me too much in the Champions League so far.
Hopefully they can impress tonight. You never know. We'll have to find out. You had a fantastic game yesterday between Gladbach and Real Madrid. Maybe tonight could be very similar. We'll have to find out indeed. Thank you very much, Kel. Bring you back in a little moment. Let's move on to the next game in a quick second. Sasha putting Pjanic versus his ex-club tonight, of course. It's a very good point indeed, Sasha. And then Chris has put, he thinks it's going to be Dortmund 3. Zenit nil, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Let's move on to the next game. It is Sevilla taking on Rennes tonight. Two teams that are going to want to desperately get points on the board tonight. And of course, he's our Sevilla correspondent. It is Rowan. How are we doing, buddy?
How are you? I'm great. Thank you very much.
I'm very good indeed. Let's have a look at these two teams tonight. Sevilla with a 4-3-3. Bunau is in goal. Back four of Acuna, Koundé, Diego Conos, and Jesus Navas. Midfield three of Oliver Torres, Fernando, and Joan Jordan, as is pronounced, of course. And then up top is Meunier on the left wing, Campos on the right, and Luke de Jong in the middle as a striker, of course. And then this is the Rennes lineup, matching them on paper with a 4-3-3 formation. Gomes is in goal. Soppy is at left back tonight. What a name. Regani, De Silva, and Almami Traore is at right back. Brijoud, Martin, and Grenier in the midfield. And then up top tonight, they've got Martin Terrier, Girassi, who scored in their previous game of the Champions League, and the youngster Jeremy Doku. Rowan, you're our Sevilla correspondent. Love Sevilla right now.
Apparently, yeah.
Do you think they're coming tonight?
Yeah, I definitely do think that Camavinga is a big miss. I took this game because obviously Sevilla I love, but I hadn't really watched Stade Rennes, so I can't say that I knew too much about him, but I knew Camavinga and obviously knew about what's it called, Steven Nzonzi, yet both of them are not playing. So it'll be good to watch a new team that I haven't really watched at all before. Obviously, I've followed Sevilla through their entire Europa League campaign. And I think it's a Sevilla win, but I'm hoping Stade Rennes could put up a bit of a fight.
We'll have to find out tonight. Indeed, two interesting sides on paper. They'll be kicking off in just a minute's time. Thank you very much, Rowan. We'll bring you back very shortly. And then we've got a few more games to quickly look over. One big game tonight, an important game for Manchester United. Indeed, they beat Paris Saint-Germain in match day 1. The question is, can they beat the other Champions League semi-finalists in Paris Saint-Germain? And of course, it's got to be KD covering tonight's game. How are we doing, buddy?
Hello there. Just a disclaimer, apologies if there is any lag. I am experiencing some at the moment. If I sound all right, then yay.
You're sounding perfect.
Good.
You're all good indeed. Let's have a look at the lineups for these two teams tonight. Manchester United with a 4-2-3-1 formation. De Gea starts in goal, back four of Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, and Wan-Bissaka. Defensive midfield two, Fred and Matic. Attacking three of Van der Beek on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Pogba in the middle. And Martial is up top tonight for Manchester United. And then this is the RB Leipzig lineup, 4-5-1 today from the Champions League semi-finalists of last season. Galacki is in goal. Back four of Halstenberg, Upamecano, Canate, and Benjamin Henrichs. Midfield five of Angelino on the left and Kunkum on the right. Forsberg, Campbell, and Danny Olmo in midfield. and then Yusuf Poulsen up top tonight. I know, of course, the games are starting just in a moment's time, but just a quick thing to ask you, of course. Do you think Manchester United could come out with 6 points out of 6 tonight?
I don't know, Josh. I'm not going to lie. We've not looked the best at Old Trafford. But I'm confident in the boys. We played well against PSG. We played well when we played Newcastle. Chelsea were a little bit disappointing, but I think we've got what it takes tonight.
We'll have to find out. Indeed, it's going to be a very interesting game of football. That is Manchester United, RB Leipzig. Thank you very much, KD. I know the games have kicked off now, but we'll very quickly go through the last game that's going on tonight. In the background, it's Ferencváros Kiev. Kieran D is going to keep an eye out on this game, so we've got every single match covered tonight. This is the Ferencváros lineup. Did very well against Barcelona, but did lose 5-1. Debus is in goal. Heister, Kovacevic, Blasic, and Lovrencic are in the back 4. Karatin and Somalia defensive midfield 2. The attacking 3 is Tokmak, Engelman, Sigara, and Zubkov, and then up top tonight is Izael. And Dinamo Kiev is a 4-3-3 tonight. Ukrainian veteran Boyko is in goal. Back 4 of Karavayev, Popov, Zabani, and Kedziora. That's the back 4. Midfield 3 of Shaparenko, Siodorchuk, and Bialski. And then up top tonight is Depenya, the Uruguayan, Supraha, and Shigankov on the wing. So they are all of the lineups for tonight's games. We are underway with the fixtures already tonight. Just to give you an update across the board, I'm going to be covering Juventus against Barcelona. That is my game tonight. Kieran D is going to be covering both Manchester United, Leipzig, and Ferencváros Kiev. Kieran is covering the game between Dortmund and Zenit. The game between Club Brugge and Lazio is covered by Will. And Sevilla and Rennes is covered by Rowan. We're going to keep our eyes out for those fixtures across the night. Give me 2 seconds here. I need to sort out my screen so I can keep my eyes out on the game, of course, between Juventus and Barcelona. And hopefully tonight we have as good of a night as we did yesterday, because we had some fascinating games of football going on. Plenty of incredible action across the Champions League last night. Some really, really good games. And fingers crossed, we can have a very similar situation. And tonight's main game is Juventus versus Barcelona. And I'm buzzing because Rotherham are 1-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday. Let's go. What a start to the night already. We love to see it. We've played about a minute and apparently we've got the goal. We love to see it. But good start to me tonight. But the Juventus of Barcelona is the main game going on, of course. Keep our eyes out for everything that's going out in that match. But let's have a quick look at the chat. Chris saying Sevilla 2, Rennes 0. Then saying maybe 2-1 to Manchester United tonight against Leipzig. But now they're saying, come on, Sevilla, of course, against Rennes tonight. Be interested to see how they do. And then Justin's put, what a game. Sevilla game, going to be a sleep fest. That's a bit harsh because Rowan's got to watch that game. And I think he'll be hoping tonight there's some goals in his match because we had plenty of goals yesterday. It was absolutely fascinating to watch all of the matches going on across the Champions League yesterday. It was goals galore in all of those matches. So, of course, we're going to find out what happens across the board. But let's keep our eyes out on that game between Juventus and Barcelona while we wait for the first update of the night from those games. And it's just an opening bit of possession here for Barcelona in their pink kit tonight in this first couple of minutes. Of course, lost the El Clasico a few days ago to Real Madrid, so the pressure really is on them tonight to try and get a result because, of course, we did see Real Madrid dropped points against Gladbach in yesterday's game. And Barcelona, they've got a little bit more of a tricky test here, but Juventus are coming forward and there's a real good chance here for Dybala on the right wing, just trying to come into the box and cutting onto his strong foot. Good defending from Lenglet means he's able to clear the ball away fairly easily, and that chance does go wide there for Juventus. But it should be a really good game of football tonight because you have to look at these two teams. And of course, Juventus are heavily missing a lot of big players at the back tonight. Of course, Chiellini picked up an injury. He's not available. Bonucci's starting. But that back three is Bonucci, Demiral, and Danilo. Of course, the former Manchester City player, which Barcelona coming forward here. And it's a good driving run from Miralem Pjanic, but eventually it is cleared away by Demiral. Good defending there from the Turkish player. And there's a potential chance here for Juventus to counter-attack. Ball is fed into the path of Alvaro Morata, but he just can't get a touch on the ball. And it's a real shame there because it's been a nice, bright start in these first couple of minutes of this game. But we're going to be waiting for that first update. Of course, we're only a couple of minutes in tonight, but let's have a quick talk about the games across the board in the Champions League this evening. So we've got Manchester United taking on RB Leipzig. Of course, we said earlier about the fact that Manchester United did very well against PSG to pick up the first 3 points of the Champions League this season, and now they've got another big tough test against RB Leipzig, a team that did very well in the Champions League last season. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. Of course, first game at Old Trafford since 2019 in the Champions League, of course. Dortmund taking on Zenit. Of course, we said earlier about Dortmund really under pressure tonight to go out there and get themselves a big result in the Champions League. They've already had a few issues in terms of picking up points, dropping 3 points against a really good Lazio side. But Zenit tonight, they have to go out there and show no fear, because we already saw Lokomotiv Moscow have a very good game against Bayern Munich yesterday in the Champions League. So we do have another Russian side taking on another German side. Can Zenit do what Lokomotiv couldn't do yesterday? We'll have to find out in that fixture as it goes on. Club Brugge taking on Lazio. For those of you that have just joined, Lazio missing 9 players tonight. That does include Thomas Strakosha. Ciro Immobile is missing as well. So there's a couple of big players. Luis Alberto is another player. A couple of big players missing across the board tonight. We'll talk about the other 2 games in a moment, though, because we are going to go to KD. There has been a chance in that game between Manchester United and RB Leipzig. The question is, who's had that first chance of the game, KD?
Well, it's RB Leipzig who've been absolutely all over Manchester United so far. But the first time Manchester United have come forward, we won a free kick high up. It was delivered by Shaw. Harry Maguire headed it on. It was deflected to Fred on the edge of the area, who had the shot. Took a wicked deflection, and it fell to the... fell. Sorry, there's a load of chances going on right now, right in front of me. I'm trying to just see what's happening. We're waiting for a penalty. No, what's happening? Harry Maguire's playing as a winger at the moment. Jesus Christ. But that chance, Fred hit it, it was deflected, and it was a really good save by Galaxy to keep it at 0-0.
Well, they always say improvise, adapt and overcome. And while Harry Maguire improvising there, nearly getting himself a potential opportunity on goal. Thank you very much, KD. As it currently stands, it's Manchester United 0, Leipzig 0, and Harry Maguire on the wing. You never know. Maybe one day he might change into that position. But we are going to go to Rowan, because he has had the first chance in his game this evening. He's covering that game between Sevilla and Rennes. Question is, Rowan, who's had that first chance of the game?
It's Sevilla, and they might have nearly scored on the goals of the tournament so far. Ball looks like it's going out of play. It's just bounced out. Campos just swings it in on the half volley. And it's Munir who just waits and just hits it on the volley. And it's a great save by the Stavren goalkeeper, Gomes. He just gets up and just tips it over the crossbar. But it's a lovely hit by Munir. Going to rattle him just to the top of the net without this Gomes save. But great sign from Sevilla. Rennes are defending well. Bit shaky, but they need to get into this game more. But nearly Sevilla chance.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Could have been an opportunity in the game early on there for Sevilla to take the lead. Good save from Gomes there. Of course, these 2 teams tonight, which was the game I was going to get onto in a moment. This is a big game for both of these sides tonight. Of course, Sevilla picking up a draw against Chelsea in their previous games. Rennes picking up a draw against Krasnodar means that it's crucial for one of these 2 sides tonight to try and get a victory and spur themselves on, of course, to get towards that 4-point margin after 2 match days. So we'll have to see what happens there. But we are going to go back to Rowan, because there's actually been another chance in these games. So take it away, Rowan.
And it's Sevilla, and it's a ball over the top that they've used a lot in the past years. I think it's Koundé plays a ball over the top. Munir takes it. I don't know who that is. It's number 34. 2 seconds, I can let you know who it is. But the ball comes over the top. Munir gets a great touch onto it, but it's the youngster, the Soppe, you were laughing at his name. He just sticks a foot out and stops, basically makes Munir take the shot wide. It's great defending from Soppe, but Sevilla are looking dangerous right now. It's 2 chances within 2 minutes where they could have scored. This game's heating up.
Thank you very much, Rowan. It is heating up indeed between Sevilla and Rennes. As it currently stands, it is 0-0 in that match. We have had just a slight injury here, to be honest. You're playing on, though, when Barcelona might have a chance to come forward here in these first couple of minutes of this game. Of course, we are about 10 minutes into these matches. Bit of trickery there from Griezmann, who just can't get round the defender, and very unlucky indeed. But, Kieran has just put a joke in the private chat. He said, did he stop the chance? Where's Tim? He'd appreciate that joke. He'd have the thumbs up for that one. I'll give you a thumbs up, Kieran. We love it. Well, we need Tim in the chat with the jokes as well. But we do like to see it indeed. And we've got to come back to Jesselham's comment. Sevilla game going to be a sleep fest. Has it been a sleep fest so far? It's probably been the best game out of them all in terms of chances in this first 10 minutes. But as it currently stands, we're a little bit quiet in the Champions League so far, no goals across the board in the games tonight. And I mean, I have just got to put back on the screen there all of the scores. But there were 2 other games going on tonight beforehand. Those 5:55 kickoffs. And as you can see, it was a big win in the game between Krasnodar and Chelsea, which wasn't Krasnodar in Istanbul. I don't know why I put Istanbul there. Don't listen to what I've put there. There we go. 4-0 win for Chelsea in their game against Krasnodar. Good result for them in their early Champions League fixture. Of course, it puts them onto 4 points. And then PSG getting a 2-0 victory, getting against Istanbul Basaksehir. A good result for the Champions League finalists not too long ago, of course. The pressure is on them to get a couple of points on the board tonight. But the main game, Juventus-Barcelona, as it currently stands, we're about 10 minutes into this one. And I have to say, it has been pretty dull. Not really much going on in this game so far. And I am watching it on a little bit of a smaller screen tonight because I'm trying to keep my eyes out on my local team's derby match as well. So I'm a little bit smaller on the screen. But it has been a kind of most of the possessions being with Barcelona in these first 10 to 15 minutes. Not really much going on. There's been little chances here and there, but nothing to majorly scream and shout about. And I guess you could probably say the same about the majority of fixtures so far in these first couple of minutes. We're still 0-0 in every single match. The question is, which game is going to have the first goal? Because if you're looking at it right now, you would probably say that the first game that is likely to get a goal is that match between Sevilla and Rennes, because as we talked to Rowan a moment ago, we've had 2 or 3 decent little opportunities for the home side to take the lead in that match. Of course, Sevilla were the Europa League winners, and the pressure will be on them to try and do very well in the Champions League too. They've got a good manager in Julian Lopetegui, but of course we'll have to find out. And I think tonight is very important that they can get a win against Rennes and go into second place on 4 points, unless they score a good couple of goals tonight against Rennes and maybe win 5-0. And then, of course, they will go to the top of the group. But we're getting around 12 minutes into these games as it currently stands. Juventus 0, Barcelona 0, Man United 0, Leipzig 0, Dortmund 0, Zenit 0, Club Brugge 0, Lazio 0, Sevilla 0-0, and Ferencváros Kiev 0-0 in that game so far. But it has been a bit of a quiet start to this game between Juventus and Barcelona. Let's kind of focus this on this game for a little bit here. It is Barcelona on the ball in the defensive half of play, just trying to push up the pitch. And in fact, it's currently Lionel Messi on the ball, trying to get it past the halfway line. He plays the ball into Jordi Alba, which is actually backwards. So we're getting a little bit further behind here. And it's been very slow build-up play in this game so far. And hopefully we might get the first goal of the night soon to really kickstart things, because you do have to remember it was the first 25 minutes yesterday where things were a little bit quiet. I know, well, just as I say, we've had the first goal of the night. It is between Club Brugge and Lazio. Will put a moment ago in the chat, this game has been woeful, but we've had a goal now. The question is, Will, who's the goal to?
It's 1-0 to Lazio, and to be honest, it's come out of absolutely nothing. Like I said in the chat, it's been a woeful game so far. Nothing really doing, but Correa picks up the ball just outside the area, plays a 1-2 with the right back. He gets it back. He literally just runs across the edge of the box and curls it into the bottom corner with his left foot. It's a really nice finish past Simon Mignolet, former Liverpool goalkeeper. And Lazio take the lead in a game that's had not many chances. Neither team's really dominated the play, but it's 1-0 to Lazio, and they'll be looking to maybe extend the lead or hold on.
Thank you very much, Will. 1-0 to Lazio, of course. They have been struggling with COVID-related stuff going on in the background. But we have a goal in the Barcelona game as well. And we've been talking about one team who's been dominating the game. And Barcelona have taken the lead. It's 1-0 to Barcelona in this game. And it is Ousmane Dembele, who I have to say, credit to him. It is a lovely goal. It's a long ball from Jordi Alba. Plays it into Dembele on the left-hand side. He's able to cut into the middle of the pitch. Lovely work from the French winger there. Takes the shot from outside of the box. He takes it on his right foot. There is a major deflection on the ball, which kind of goes in Ousmane Dembele's favour. And Barcelona take a 1-0 lead in this game, and just seeing Ronald Koeman's reaction there, absolutely delighted that his side have taken the lead in this game. And you have to say, in terms of the first 15 minutes, it's a well and truly deserved lead in this match. And it is the Frenchman, Dembele, who was fantastic in their previous game against Ferencváros. Did really well when he came onto the pitch. for kind of 15, 20-minute spell. And he's coming here. Although Juventus are here on the attack, this could be a really big chance here for Juventus to come forward and equalise instantly. It's a chance for Morata. Give the ball away. And it's a goal. We have a goal instantly. It's 1-1 just like that. But I think the referee's going to rule it out here. And Morata, he's complaining to the referee. And I think this goal is going to be disallowed. And just looking at it right now, it is a very marginal decision. And it looks like it's going to be given as offside here. And, well, it wasn't convincing from Alvaro Morata. He did get into the box. He was one-on-one with the keeper towards the right-hand side of the post. And you'd think 9 times out of 10 he'd be able to put it into the back of the net. But he doesn't. He then comes out of a rebound from Neto and he's put into the back of the net. But the referee has ruled it out. No goal. And it means that Barcelona are able to fight for another day. Although it is getting checked by VAR. And while it's being checked by VAR, let's go to KL because there has been a chance in his game. And, of course, he's watching that game between Dortmund and Zenit. Who's had the first chance, Kieran?
Well, the first chance of the game has come to Dortmund, as you'd usually expect. It was Rafael Guerreiro on the left-hand side. He drilled the ball into the box. Haaland's touch is slightly shaky, so it bounces off the floor. Gio Reyna strikes it on the volley, just past the post. It whistled past. I thought it was going for the top corner, but just wide.
Very lucky indeed. Thank you so much, KL. Currently 0-0 between Dortmund and Zenit as it currently stands. And to give you an update, it's still 1-0 to Barcelona. The referee has eventually looked at VAR and checked for a potential decision of offside. And the decision has been given as an offside against Morata, which means Barcelona are let off here in terms of how quickly Juventus has scored. I think it was about a minute in between Barcelona scoring and Juventus getting an equaliser, but unfortunately it has been ruled out. Alvaro Morata did put it into the back of the net, but unfortunately it is not going to count. And looking at the decision there, it is the correct decision. He's just offside, and Morata's going to be a little bit frustrated with himself. But we could have had 2 goals within, 2 minutes, maybe a minute less than that. But it's going to stay 1-0 to Barcelona as it currently stands. I'm just seeing in the chat right now a bit of talk about the Wednesday Rotherham game. Not nice to see some stuff going on in there right now with injuries. But yeah, Barcelona 1-0 to the good right now. And you have to say they have to come with a big performance because they played Ferencváros. It was a 5-1 win, and it wasn't the most convincing game in the world for them. In fact, they looked a little bit shaky at times in that match. But of course, tonight, this is a big test for them. And Juventus, they're missing a few players in that back line, while Barcelona are pretty much fit and fighting, and they've got the full team. So we'll have to find out what happens. But we are going to quickly talk about Rowan's game because there has been an early substitution in his match between Sevilla and Rennes. And Rennes have had to make an early substitution. Regani has come off. Aguerd has come on at the back. Unfortunately, there, hopefully, nothing too serious. In fact, I'm going to bring Rowan in just to make sure here. Is it anything serious for Regani?
It wasn't a stretcher or anything. I think he might have just pulled up with something, but I just looked when I saw the sub going on, and I did see Regani walk off at least. So it definitely isn't it's definitely an injury because he was limping, but hopefully he's all right. But yeah, it's an early sub for Rennes, and they may need it. So you've got the 5 subs, but 4 subs now, and if you're losing the game, you want to make a lot of changes you've spent on a defender already, but early on.
Yeah, you don't want to be making early substitutions. We're about 20 minutes into the games now, and to have to change a player at the back, which is a very good player indeed in Regani, is very unfortunate for them. But thank you very much, Roman. Still 0-0 in the game between Sevilla and Rennes as it currently stands. We're now 20 minutes into the games. We've only had 2 goals so far this evening in the Champions League. The first goal of the night came against Club Brugge and Lazio. It's Lazio who took the lead in that game. They're missing 9 players tonight. But what they're not missing is somebody who can put the ball into the back of the net. And it was not Angel Correa. It was Joaquin Correa put the ball into the back of the net in that game for Lazio. So 1-0 to the Italian side away from home, of course. If they can get a result tonight, fantastic for them considering how many of their main stars are out tonight. That does include the likes of Immobile and Luis Alberto, who are out of the team. And then the other goal is in that game between Juventus and Barcelona. It was a lovely finish from Ousmane Dembele to make it 1-0 to the Spanish side. And another point in the chat, Ousmane playing better when he's not on his PlayStation, which is absolutely true. And of course, it's nice to see Koeman giving him plenty of starts now. But we've got a chance here for Juventus coming forward. It's Kulusevski just outside the box. Ball's pinged into the box towards Dybala. This could be a really good chance. He hits it on the half volley, but the referee is going to give a free kick to Barcelona. I don't know what he's really seen in the box to give it as a free kick. Just kind of seeing now, and actually, yeah, it's the right decision there. Langley getting pulled in the box by Alvaro Morata. Morata complains to the referee, but it is the correct decision. And unfortunately for Juventus, it was another good chance to get back into this game, and it's slowly starting to liven up, this one. And Cuadrado just looks like he's pulled up with something here, and the referee isn't going to stop play, but he's going to come off and just make sure that everything's all right with the Colombian, of course, who is currently playing as a right mid/right wing back tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how he does, of course, a natural position that he's learned over the last couple of years. But still 1-0 to Barcelona. 14 minutes is all it took for Barcelona to take the lead in this game. And currently, so far in the night, you have to say, it's been very, very quiet indeed. We've not really had many major opportunities in the game so far tonight. In fact, we'll have a quick scout here of how the fixtures have been going on in terms of the statistics. So, of course, Juventus-Barcelona, there's been 4 shots, 2 on target for Barcelona tonight. They've had nearly 60% possession, so they are dominating that game so far, statistics-wise, but Juventus have had their fair share of opportunities in the match. Manchester United and RB Leipzig, of course, still currently 0-0. 3 shots, 1 on target for Man United. 1 shot, none on target for Leipzig. Very even in terms of possession in that game so far. Dortmund 0, Zenit 0. That one's been fairly quiet. Dortmund with 60% possession in that game to Zenit's 40. Not really been many opportunities at all. In fact, there's not been an opportunity on target so far in that game, which is a real shame, and hopefully it'll kick on soon. Club Brugge and Lazio, of course, Lazio leading that game. 3 shots to 2. 3 shots, 2 on target for Lazio. Club Brugge have only had 1 shot, which wasn't on target, although they are dominating possession right now in that game, 55% to 45%. And then we'll have a look at something, because there's been a goal, actually, in that game between Man United and RB Leipzig. KD, who's bagged the goal?
Well, it's Mason Greenwood who scored, but he might be offside. If he is offside, it is a toes length offside. It's a fantastic finish by Mason Greenwood, exactly what you would expect from it. It's Fred, who's been absolutely terrific all night, nicks it in midfield, feeds Pogba, who just taps it through for Greenwood, and he puts it across Galaxy into the bottom left-hand corner. It is being checked for VAR. I will update you on the decision.
That's perfect. Thank you very much, Katie. We'll bring you back in a moment, of course, to see what's going on with that decision. As it currently stands, Man U might be about to go 1-0 up against RB Leipzig, and I'm looking at the goal right now, and I do have to agree with Kieran. It is incredibly marginal in terms of whether this is going to be given as an offside or not. Just seeing the chance now, lovely driving run from Paul Pogba, and it's going to be a tricky one here. I think the lines will be coming out for that goal in the Manchester United RB Leipzig game, but of course we'll find out in a second to see whether it's going to be given as a goal or not. But we've had a chance in the Juventus-Barcelona game, and Messi, you have to say, he's just missed quite a big opportunity for Barcelona. He's inside the box, in the middle of the box, and somehow he's shot on his right foot, somehow gone wide of the mark. Really poor opportunity there from the Argentinian. But KD has updated us. The goal has been given, and Man United have taken a 1-0 lead against RB Leipzig. And, well, we said a moment ago it was going to be a very marginal decision on whether this would count as a goal or not. But the referee, in the end, has given the goal. It's 1-0 to Manchester United, and it's the perfect start for the Premier League side as they look to push to get 6 points out of 6 in the Champions League so far. The perfect start, as you would expect for Manchester United there. And, of course, if they can hold on, Leipzig got a good result against Istanbul Basaksehir here last week. Man United, can they get another good result today against a really good side indeed? But we'll have to find out, of course. 1-0 to Man U, around 23 minutes into that game so far. And just look at the scores so far, 20 minutes, technically about 25 minutes into the night. You can see the scores on your screen any moment now, because this is how it's looking across the board in the Champions League this evening. Krasnodar lost 4-0 to Chelsea in the 5:55 kickoff. Istanbul Basaksehir also lost 2-0 to PSG in the 5:55 kickoff. So plenty of goals across those 5:55 p.m. kickoffs earlier today. Borussia Dortmund 0, Zenit 0. Very quiet there tonight. We'll have to see what happens there in that match. Lazio 1-0 up against Club Brugge. It was Joaquin Correa who scored the goal in that game. Just seeing Ferencváros 0, Kiev 0. Of course, big opportunity for one of those two sides tonight to potentially take 3 points home. Of course, you would expect those two teams to be pushing towards the Europa League spots. And we're going to go back to KD here, because there has been a chance in the game between Man United and RB Leipzig. The question is, Who's the chance been to?
Well, almost an instant equaliser for Leipzig. They go right up the other end. A really good driving run from Forsberg, feeds Nkunku, and his shot is saved well by David De Gea, and Leipzig still have the corner. If you want to stay with me for this one, Josh, you are.
I will indeed. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, Nkunku standing over it. Rotherham still one up, yeah?
Oh, yes. Honestly, incredible football.
Coasting, you could say.
Absolutely. I mean, as long as we get a win, I'm happy. But I mean, of course, for you as well tonight, as long as Man U get a win, must be delighted.
And it's a fantastic interception from Matic. I think Halstenberg just needed to poke it in at the back post, and it'd have been 1-0. 1-1 sorry. Matic does come away with it after that vital interception. 1-0 still, 24 and a half minutes in.
Thank you very much, KD. Of course, Manchester United fans will be buzzing right now if they can get 6 points on the board after match day 2. It'll be very good indeed for them. It's a lot of pressure taken off their shoulders. Of course, we've seen in the past a lot of teams going down to the wire in the Champions League to be able to pick up results and get out of the group stages. But Man U already giving themselves a good foothold, and then they've got 2 games to come against Istanbul Basaksehir here, which surely means if they can get 2 out of 2 victories, they're going to 100% be through to the next round of the competition. But going back to the Barcelona game now, because Juventus are coming forward here. Cuadrado trying to feed a ball along towards the path of Alvaro Morata in the box, but the ball is given away, and it is actually going to be Juventus thrown because Jordi Alba's taking a slight touch. The ball has gone out of play, but it has gone a little bit quiet again. I thought maybe that the Juventus disallowed equaliser was going to get themselves Juventus back into the game, but unfortunately, it's not really spurred the game on a great deal. It's gone a little bit quiet again, but we'll have to find out what goes on there. We've got something going on in the Dortmund Zenit game. It's a yellow card. Kazayev has got a yellow in that match. That's as good as it gets right now in the game between Dortmund and Lazio. And I have just seen on my screen, I know Kieran's probably going to update me in a second. We have a penalty in the Ferencvaros Kiev game. And from the looks of it, it is a Dynamo Kiev penalty that's been given here. And just looking at the decision, it is an absolutely correct decision from the referee to give this. I'm going to bring KD in because, of course, he's got that game on at the side. Question is, can Kiev put this away?
I'm not sure what he would do in there, this Somali. He
reckless.
Completely mishit it, didn't he, onto his own hand? I think Kiev are probably going to score this. Ferencvaros, though, I've been watching on the side, of course. They've been doing pretty well. If their final ball was better, they might have been winning this.
Well, that's the thing. They did really well against Barcelona, but just couldn't get the final product away. And I think, of course, they've had a good start. But if Kiev score here, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them to get back into this game. But we'll find out what happens here.
It might be wind out of the sails if this goes in.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we never know what will happen here. We'll have to see whether it's saved or not. But take us through this opportunity.
Oh, and it is in. It is 1-0 to Dynamo Kiev. Is it Tsigankov who takes the penalty? It is, of course, Tsigankov who takes the penalty. 1-0 Dynamo Kiev after Ferencvaros' decent start, to be fair, but they find themselves behind.
Very unfortunate for them indeed. Thank you very much, KD. As it currently stands, of course, we said there a moment ago, Kiev in the lead in that game. It's Viktor Shigankov with the goal. Good for Dynamo Kiev, of course, tonight. Big pressure on these two sides to try and get a result in their games, of course, if they want to get out of the Champions League group stages, or more importantly, into the Europa League knockout stages. But we are going to go to KL now, because there has been a chance in that game between Dortmund and Zenit. Who's got the chance, KL?
Well, you almost joined me for another chance, but we'll go back to the one I said to you in the private chat, didn't I, that Kazayev got a yellow card. That was from a tackle from behind to stop a break, and it was about 22 yards out, central. Royce hits it, curls it. It's going towards the bottom corner. It's a good save from Kurzhakov, and then the following corner resulted to nothing. Then the chance with Justas was Haaland breaking on the right, but his crossfield ball, we saw one from Plea last night, which was beautiful. Haaland couldn't recreate it quite, and it was just intercepted. But Zenit, they'll be quite happy. They've been all right at shutting down everything Dortmund have threw at them.
Very good indeed so far for the Russian champions. Thank you very much, KL, as always. Of course, we said earlier the fact that Lokomotiv Moscow played off against Bayern Munich last night in a game which they did very well against the German champions and the Champions League winners of last season. The question is, can Zenit do something similar against Borussia Dortmund, of course, who've been flying so far in the Bundesliga? Of course, Haaland on fire. But we might have a chance here in the Juventus-Barcelona game. It's Dybala on the right wing, just trying to feed the ball into the box here. The Argentinian lays the ball off for Cuadrado, who's just outside the box, the right side. Oh, it's a lovely ball, and I don't think he's going to count. Oh, well, Alvaro Morata, it's not his night because I think he's just been given us another offside against the Spaniard. And it's the correct decision. And once again, it's marginal. It was a absolutely scintillating ball into the box from Cuadrado. Lays it down for Morata, who is so gutted. And this is getting checked by VAR once again. And just checking, of course. Let's see what the referee does here. He hasn't given it. And it really isn't going to be Morata's night tonight. He could have had 2 goals already in this game. That's his second disallowed goal, it looks like. It is indeed. It's been confirmed now, disallowed. And once again, it stays Barcelona 1, Juventus 0. And Alvaro Morata doesn't look like he's going to have a great game today. That's 2 goals he's had disallowed now in this match. But we have had an opportunity in that Sevilla-Rennes game. Unfortunately, of course, he hasn't seen a goal yet in this match, but are we getting any closer, Rowan?
Sevilla should be like 4-0 up by now, and this time it's Sevilla again. A corner comes in from Acuna, and Luke de Jong jumps up high as you'd expect, heads it back in further into the box. Just Koundé then heads it. It looks like it's going in, and Beauregard on the line just sticks his foot out, clears it, and then the resulting play comes to nothing. And then we had another chance where the ball went over the top, Luke de Jong again hunting, but I think he does pull down and stop it, but Sevilla should be like 4-0. There's been so many other little chances, and Rennes don't look in this. I don't think they've actually had a shot on target yet, if I'm correct. I'm going to
have a quick look at the stats for you now while I can. Let's have a look. They haven't had a shot at all.
Campos again on the wing. Campos still on the wing. You'd expect him to cross it in to Oliver Torres. Tries to play through his. Now that doesn't come to anything.
Very lucky indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan. Just before you go, Sevilla had 12 shots, 6 on target already, and we're about half an hour into the game. Rennes haven't had a shot at all. Not one shot.
Yeah, Sevilla are spanking them politely.
They are indeed, and hopefully they can get a goal soon. Thank you very much, Rowan. It's still currently 0-0 in that game between Sevilla and Rennes, and they've pretty much, Sevilla, already had as many shots as the likes of Atalanta and Ajax did last night. And we've only played half an hour of football, which is absolutely crazy. Of course, you'd expect them to eventually pull the ball into the back of the net tonight against Rennes. As we said before, they haven't had a shot in the game so far. They've had about 35% possession, and then it looks like Rennes are going to have to do something special here if they want to get a point or 3 out of this game. But we saw Shakhtar do it yesterday in their game against Inter Milan. Can Rennes do something similar against Sevilla? We'll have to find out, of course, with about 60 minutes left of play and about 13 minutes left of the first half. As it currently stands, we're about half an hour into these games. I'm going to stop for a second, though, because Jordi Alba's got into the box. Tries to take the shot on the half volley. Weak there from him. Currently, Juventus 0, Barcelona 1. Only goal of the night in this game has come from Ousmane Dembele. Great finish from the Frenchman to put the Spanish side into the lead. Manchester United 1, Leipzig 0. Mason Greenwood with the goal in that game to put United up 1-0 to the good. It was a marginal kind of offside decision potentially, but it was the right call in that game for Manchester United, and they do deserve the lead in that one. Dortmund 0, Zenit 0, been a few little opportunities in that game, but nothing to really scream and shout about so far in that match. Club Brugge 0, Lazio 1. It's Joaquin Correa with the only goal of that game, of course. Lazio missing 9 players tonight in this Champions League fixture, and they're 1-0 to the good in that game. Sevilla 0, Rennes 0. Game of the night so far in terms of opportunities, but it hasn't had a goal as of yet. Still waiting for Sevilla to eventually break the deadlock. Rennes haven't had any shots to Sevilla's 12 and 6 on target. And the Ferencváros 0, Dynamo Kiev 1. It was a penalty scored by Viktor Shigankov to put the Ukrainian side into the lead. And Rowan has just put, Rennes have had a shot. First shot of the night for them. It's a good start. It's taken them half an hour, but they have got a shot indeed, which is good to see. And maybe that might spur them on now to get a victory. You never know. We'll have to find out, of course, but still 0-0 in that game right now. And I've just seen, actually, going to the Man United RB Leipzig game, I've got the goal show on right now. Julian Nagelsmann is looking very dapper tonight. The suit that he's picked out, if you haven't watched the game, the suit he's wearing tonight looks bloody beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. He's got a nice bit of... he's got a good taste tonight, and I've just seen KD's literally put it at the same time. His suit looks absolutely fantastic. He does like to change his style up every once in a while, and he seems to have got himself into the suit game in terms of what he wears. But, of course, still 1-0 down right now. He's got some tactical decisions to make if he wants his Leipzig side to get back into the game. But he certainly does win in terms of his attire tonight that he's wearing as a manager, of course. I'm just seeing Kenny's put, remember he's rocking the Nike Air top. Those days are gone now. Those days are gone. He's a dapper man, I tell thee. Julian Nagelsmann, he loves the suit and tie. Absolutely loves it indeed. I go back to that game, of course. There has been a yellow card. Nemanja Matic has gone into the book for Manchester United. So we'll have to see, of course, what happens there. There's about 10 minutes left of play as Barcelona come forward here. It could be another chance for a goal. And Ousmane Dembele is trying to get it around the keeper. Still got the ball. Szczesny's missed it. Could be another chance here for Barcelona. Got to put it in the net, surely. And, oh, my Lord. Frankie de Jong, you've had a stinker. Oh, dear. It really should be 2-0 Barcelona. And Ousmane Dembele, he's done all of the hard work to try and put Barcelona 2-0 to the good. He's gone round Szczesny. He's used a little bit of his silky skills and flair to try and get an opportunity on goal. And Demiral, he's been able to stop an opportunity from going into the back of the net. And eventually Dembele, rather than going for the shot, tries to lay it off for de Jong, who should have put it into the back of the net. But it's still 1-0 Barcelona, and it's very, very disappointing indeed there from the Dutchman, who really should have put the ball into the back of the net. But we have got another chance elsewhere in that game between Dortmund and Zenit. Let's find out what's happening here in that game with KL. Who's had that chance?
Well, I'll be honest, they keep showing me replays, so I'm not sure whether it's like a VAR check or something, but basically, I'll let you carry on. Go on.
No, it's all right. You go with your game. This isn't UCL related.
No, it's Douglas Santos who picks the ball up on the left-hand side. By the way, no VAR check. Not sure what he was showing me replays for. He's on the left, and he whips the ball into the box. Berkey comes out. He is in absolutely no man's land. Driussi gets his head to the ball, and it looks as if Berkey's just come out and clattered him as he gets his head to the ball. Nothing given, but Berkey's got to, keep a little bit reined in after that one. And you can tell me what's happened now because I can see the smile on your face.
Yes, we're 2-0 up. Come on. Yes. We love to see it. It's not even Champions League related, but we're 2-0 up. And no, of course, in terms of the game so far, coming back to the UCL stuff, Dortmund, how have they played so far in this game? Better with the two sides, or is Zenit giving them a tough test?
They're miles better, but every time they get in and around the box, they are doing 9 or 10 short interchangeable passes, and they just can't seem to get that killer opportunity. The one opportunity they've had, I'd say, was the Royce free kick, so only from a dead ball. So if you're Zenit, you're just happy at how much you're neutralising this really attacking Dortmund team. Not so much of Haaland, not so much of Sancho. I'd say the best player on the pitch is this man that's on the ball, Rafael Guerreiro. And that is really all I can tell you. I think Zenit will be more than happy. As they're in the box, it's great interlink. And again, one too many passes, Zenit are away.
Very unlucky indeed. Still 0-0 as it currently stands in that game. Thank you very much, KL. I am buzzing right now. What a night I'm having. It's not even to do with the Champions League. It's just my team is bloody brilliant. But yeah, currently 0-0 in that game between Dortmund and Zenit. Of course, I've just seen... apparently I've just missed a red card in the game. I must be a little... I don't know whether I'm behind or not, but Will is... to give you a little bit of context, Will is a Sheffield Wednesday fan. And I'm a Rotherham United fan. Both playing each other tonight. So, of course, it's an interesting game. Apparently, there's been a red card for Sheffield Wednesday. I didn't even see that, which is bonkers. And now Rotherham are going to win 7-0. But let's go back to these Champions League games, of course, because it's important tonight that we keep up to date with the Champions League action as Barcelona come forward here on the left side of the pitch. It's Jordi Alba inside the attacking half of play, about 40 yards out from goal. Lays the ball off to Antoine Griezmann, who looks like he's manoeuvred into the central attacking mid position tonight. Of course, Pedri. It's a very dynamic attacking three. They've got Pedri, who initially was starting as a central attacking midfielder, Griezmann on the left, and Dembele on the right. And it kind of looks like the three are changing and interlinking positions across the entirety of the night. And it's good fun to see so far in terms of how things have gone. And I did miss a red card in that game, but not really much going on, actually, I've got to be honest. Juventus having a couple of really good chances, and we've seen Alvaro Morata with 2 goals disallowed. Is it going to come back to bite Juventus here in the game with those missed chances and offsides? We'll have to find out, of course, as time goes on. But we've got a few more minutes of the first half left, and it hasn't really been enthralling Champions League fixtures across the board tonight so far in the Champions League. Barcelona currently 1-0 up. Manchester United 1-0 up against RB Leipzig. Still no goals between Dortmund and Zenit. Lazio 1-0 up. Somehow, Sevilla aren't 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 up against Rennes, but we'll have to see if they can get a goal before half-time. And Dynamo Kiev currently 1-0 up against Ferencváros. So we'll have to see what happens there. But so far, I've been very quiet on the night indeed. Not really a great deal going on at all in these games. And hopefully in the second half, like we did yesterday, we can get a few more chances. Although we're going to go to Will very quickly because there has been a pen in that game between Club Brugge and Lazio. Who's got the pen, Will?
It's a penalty to Club Brugge. And it's Milinkovic-Savic has been shown a yellow card. It went to VAR. He wasn't given it first, but apparently they've given the yellow card to Milinkovic-Savic, but he was not even involved with it. Someone's been wrestled to the ground, basically, in the penalty area. So Club Brugge have a penalty.
Big opportunity for them to get back into the game.
Big opportunity for them. Because, to be honest, I think that's maybe the better side. But Pepe Reina, being a Liverpool fan, I know that he is a very, very good penalty stopper. But we'll see.
Well, he's got a big decision, a very big decision today, because, of course, usually they would have Strakosha in goal, and unfortunately he's not being able to play today because of COVID restrictions. But how have Lazio done missing their 9 key players?
They've done all right, to say they've lost that many players. They've actually done all right. They could have had a couple more goals. I know Caicedo up front has had a few chances. They could definitely have at least a couple more goals, but this could be a big year for Bruges. Only 4 minutes to go till the break. Can they level it up? The penalty, and they scored. Sends Pepe Reina the wrong way, and it's a massive goal for Club Brugge. 1-1, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much, Will. Indeed, it's 1-1 between Club Brugge and Lazio. It's the game of the night, technically, in terms of how many goals have been scored, and it's a good opportunity in that game, of course. Pepe Reina, unfortunately, couldn't save the opportunity, and it goes into the back of the net, and it's very good to see, indeed, a good opportunity, which was put away by Hans Vanaken, the Belgium attacking midfielder. And it's 3-0 Rotherham. Yes, we love to see it. What's going on tonight? We love it. 3-0 to Rotherham. But we're going to go to Kieran D because there's been another goal in the game between Ferencváros and Kiev. Take it away, Kieran.
Well, I can see you're very happy, Josh.
I'm buzzing.
Ferencváros are not back in the game. It's 2-0 to Dynamo Kiev. It's Carlos de Pena with the goal. It's a really good counter-attacking goal, which kind of similar to the first one, of course, how they won the penalty in the first place for the first goal. Easy move down the right, squared it along the box, and the clearance by the defender just clattered Carlos de Pena as he had his foot out, and it's 2-0 to Ferencváros. What's up, Josh? What's happened?
I'm just buzzing. I'm just absolutely buzzing right now. I'm high as a kite in terms of this result. But I know obviously you're keeping an eye out on this game a little bit less than the Manchester United match. But have Kiev been dominating this game so far?
Honestly, I wouldn't say so. I think Ferencváros have been the better side. I think Kiev have just... Obviously, there's a real lack of quality in the Ferencváros team, of course, compared to the Dynamo Kiev team. A lot more experience in the UCL and stuff, better players, better system. But I think Ferencváros have done well with what they've had going forward. They just need to put the ball in the back of the net. That's just football at the end of the day. I sound like Michael Owen.
You do indeed, but that's the important thing. They have to put the ball in the back of the net. As simple as it sounds, they've got to. And, of course, they're 2-0 down right now. Thank you very much, KD. We'll bring you back in a little bit, of course, at half-time, if any other chances go in, of course. We're going to go to Kale because there's been another chance in this game between Dortmund and Lazio. Dortmund and Zenit. Question is, who's had that chance, KL?
Well, there's been 2 chances, but footballing decided to go crazy for a couple of minutes and all the goals went in and Rotherham winning 3-0. But
honestly, unbelievable.
It's 2 chances for Dortmund, and Jadon Sancho was at the heart of both of them. It was a really nice drilled through ball to Marco Reus. He left a defender with a sparing tackle who couldn't quite get on the end of it. Reus lashed it at the keeper, good save by Kurzhakov, and then just then he's driving at the defence. Dejan Lovren doesn't know whether he's coming or going, doesn't close him down. Haaland's in acres of space. It's one he has for dinner every single day, lashes it across goal. Really unlike him, miles wide.
Very, very unlucky indeed. Does it feel like we're going to get a first goal soon? Maybe not in this first half, but in the second?
I think if it continues, I'm sure Dortmund will get a goal. I'm pretty confident. But it might be one of them where it won't be their best performance, but they'll take a 1-0.
They will indeed. Thank you very much, Kale. We'll bring you back in a little bit to see what happens there. Of course, Dortmund 0, Zenit 0. Not really much going on there so far, but there's been a couple of little chances, and hopefully we can get that first goal of the game soon. But we are getting around the 45th minute of these games. Not really much going on in the Juventus Barcelona match, I've been quite frankly honest with you. It's been a very, very quiet game indeed, and of course we'll have to see what goes on there because it's been fairly disappointing for what would be quite usually a pretty big fixture, but Barcelona dominating in terms of shots, possession, and just the game in general. And not really much going on so far in that match. And then, of course, we talked a moment ago about Dinamo Kiev being 2-0 up against Ferencvaros once again. Ferencvaros looking good on the night, but could not be good enough because they're not putting the ball into the back of the net. And, of course, as it currently stands, Kiev with a 2-goal lead in that game. They'll be delighted, of course, as they try and push towards that Europa League spot in third, especially with the likes of Juventus and Barcelona being in their group. It's all about finishing third and getting into the Europa League. And then, of course, we talked to Will a moment ago. Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1. Hans Vanaken with a penalty put into the back of the net. It's a fantastic finish from Hans Vanaken for the penalty. And Club Brugge well and truly back in this game. And you have to say it's a very big game for Club Brugge in terms of taking advantage of all the players that Lazio are missing tonight, of course. Missing a lot of players indeed. I've just seen in the chat Bernardo putting up the Rotherham. You love to see it, Bernardo. We bloody love you in this stream. But so we've got a few more minutes left of the first half. Let's see what happens here. Of course, as it currently stands across the board in these fixtures today, Barcelona 1-0 up against Juventus, Manu 1-0 up against RB Leipzig, Dortmund 0, Zenit 0, Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1, Sevilla 0, Rennes 0, and Dinamo Kiev 2, Ferencvaros 0 as we head to additional time of the first half. And we've got 2 minutes of additional time here for Barcelona against Juventus. We'll talk through the first 45 in a little moment's time with the boys, of course, and assess every game that's going on tonight. And we can see now we've got 1 minute of additional time in that game between Dortmund and Zenit, currently still 0-0. 1 minute of additional time in the Manchester United game, currently 1-0 against RB Leipzig. 1 minute of additional time in the game between Ferencvaros and Dinamo Kiev. I'm starting to see a bit of a trend here. But no, there has been a bit of a break in the trend because Rowan said there's 3 minutes of additional time in that Sevilla Rennes game, of course. Still haven't had a goal yet in that one. But we will talk through all of the decisions that are going to be made in that game in terms of the amount of shots and chances Sevilla have had in just a moment's time. But we'll have to find out with 3 minutes. They might get a goal before the first half ends. We'll find out in a moment's time. And then we'll have a little bit of additional time in that game between Club Brugge and Lazio. But let's keep our eyes out here because Juventus are coming forward with 25 seconds left. And well, they were coming forward, but Danilo decided to take a shot from about 45 yards out, which went nowhere near the goal. And that will probably be Andrea Pirlo's side's last chance of this first half. The referee should surely blow his whistle in a little moment's time. But let's have a quick look at the chat. Half-time in the game between Dortmund and Zenit, currently 0-0. We'll talk to Kieran now in a moment in his game. Half-time in the game between Manchester United and RB Leipzig, of course. 1-0 to Manchester United as it currently stands in that game. And it's also half-time between Ferencvaros and Kiev. Kiev with 2 goals tonight, 2 very important goals. A good performance in that match for Kiev. Can they get a few more goals? We'll have to find out. And we've got a yellow card in the Juventus-Barcelona game. Kulusevski, the Swedish winger, has gone into the book just before the half-time whistle is blown in this match. And, of course, Club Brugge hasn't really got much longer left, I would assume. I'm just seeing right now, apparently he's had about 4 minutes of additional time, so not too long left of that game, but it has been, I'd probably say, fairly quiet across the board in the Champions League. We haven't really had a game that's taken a foothold of the Champions League yet and shown us high-quality football. I mean, you could probably say Sevilla and Rennes has had plenty of opportunities, but a game where there's been goals, we've had a couple of goals here and there, but we haven't had a thrilling match, I would say, so far in terms of the quality of the game. But Juventus and Barcelona has just hit half-time. It is 1-0 to Barcelona in this game. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment's time. And with the Club Brugge and Lazio game still going on with a little bit of extra time in this first half, and just as I say that, it is now half-time across the board in all of the Champions League games. So as it currently stands, in the Champions League so far. Barcelona 1-0 up against Juventus, although Juventus have had 2 goals offside and disallowed from Alvaro Morata. Manchester United 1, RB Leipzig 0. It was a Mason Greenwood goal, lovely finish, and it was a decision that was checked by VAR, of course, but Greenwood looked like it was marginally offside, but good decision indeed. To give the goal and a good finish from Mason Greenwood. Borussia Dortmund 0, Zenit 0. Not really great deal of opportunities in that game so far. Of course, Dortmund dominating possession-wise. Can Zenit hold on for a good draw? Because it would be a great point indeed for the Russian champions. Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1, one of the high-scoring games of the night so far. It was Lazio who took lead from Correa, and then it was just before half-time. A penalty was given to Club Brugge, which Hans Vanaken smashed into the back of the net up against Pepe Reina. Sevilla 0, Rennes 0. Well, this one has had a hell of a lot of opportunities, but still no goal. It's been Sevilla dominating for the first 45 minutes of this game. Rennes have had at least one shot, probably not on target, but they've had a shot, and that's probably as bad as good as it gets for Rennes. But we'll talk to Rowan in a moment to see what has been happening in that first 45. And then Ferencváros 0, Dynamo Kiev 2. Good start for the Ukrainians. It was Viktor Shigankov, 28 minutes in, smashing home a lovely penalty from the Ukrainian winger. And then it was Carlos de Peña, the Uruguayan winger, on the other side of the pitch, making it 2-0 to Kiev. And they are looking like they are going to continue on with a victory. So now we are at half-time. We've got 15 minutes to talk through the games. So we'll bring the boys in one by one, have a quick talk about how their games have gone so far, and analyse what can be changed over the next 45 minutes in these matches. So let's go in the order of the games that have had goals. So the games that haven't had goals so far, there's two matches, which is Borussia Dortmund and Zenit and Sevilla Rennes. So let's start off with the game between Dortmund and Zenit, of course. 0-0 so far in that match. And has it been an entertaining affair, Kieran?
No, it hasn't. I'll be honest. It's been quite a lackluster affair. Yeah, not really much to report, to be honest, Josh, in terms of very reminiscent of Chelsea Sevilla, I'll be honest, but a bit more domination by Dortmund, as you usually would expect in these sorts of games, because I think Zenit would have come here kind of happy with a point, and they're playing like they're happy with a point. So it doesn't always make for an interesting watch, really. It
doesn't to a certain extent, but what do Dortmund have to do here to break down this Zenit back line? Because we've seen, especially yesterday, Shakhtar Donetsk, they went up against Inter Milan. They sat back for the majority of the game. They got a point in the end, even with Inter Milan's quality attack. What do Dortmund have to do differently if they want to get 3 points?
For me, they're just overcomplicating it in the final third. They really are. I don't think there's any need. And that, again, that is credit to Zenit's compact, shape, and they're really making it difficult to break lines between the defenders, and they're not being caught in behind with Haaland's pace. They're dropping very deep, which is nullifying something, but they're finding space on the wings, so get some crosses in. That'll work. But I do think in and around the area, they're taking 10 passes, and I'm talking genuinely between the 18-yard and the edge of the box. It's just unbelievable the amount of short passes there is. So I just make things a little bit simpler, maybe not play this beautiful style of football you're used to playing, grind it, get the result, and get the 3 points.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. They've got 45 minutes, Dortmund, to try and salvage 3 points because they desperately need it right now, considering, of course, they lost to Lazio. Looking at the stats for the game so far, Dortmund have had 4 shots, 2 on target, 68% possession. Zenit have had 2 shots, none on target, and 32% possession. You can quite clearly see the tactic that Zenit are playing tonight. They're not really fussed about necessarily getting a victory. But, of course, they could hit on the counter-attack quite easily. Have they done so far in terms of the attacking side of things?
Not really. I'll be honest. Djouba is a good hold-up player. He should be able, hit him with a long ball and he'll be able to hold it. I actually think he's been very poor tonight at dragging others into play. He's not the best on the ball. I think that's obvious, But he hasn't really gained any sort of momentum for his team by backing off defenders. Akanji and Hummels have been able to deal with him quite simply all game. Maybe in the second he can target one or the other because he hasn't exactly got the pace to beat Akanji, but he hasn't got the strength to beat Hummels. It's really difficult for him. I would like to call this the graveyard shift for Djouba tonight. He's done the night shift. There's no action at all, but when you need to do something, he needs to be there and he needs to finish it.
It sounds like you're doing the graveyard shift yourself tonight because 0-0 draw as it currently stands. There's not really much action going on, but hopefully the second half can kind of get a little bit better. Thank you very much, KL. We'll bring you back in a little bit. So that is the game between Dortmund and Zenit currently as it stands at 0-0. Very nearly said Lazio again. And let's go to the other game that is goalless tonight, Sevilla and Rennes. This one's been quite the opposite from the sound of things and from the stats. It has been pretty much all Sevilla, but they haven't got a goal yet. Rowan, interesting 45 minutes?
Yeah, Sevilla have looked like the best side. There's been You had an early chance from Navas where he just whips it on the half volley. Great save by Gomes. Gomes is the reason Stade Rennes are still in this game, really making them stops when you want your goalkeeper, or even just being that big figure. These times where Campos and Munir have got the ball, and he's just stood large, made sure that they're not going to shoot, and they've had to square the ball across the face of the goal. Nothing's come for Luke de Jong. A goal will come to Sevilla. It will. They'll work him down. On the other side, on the Rennes side, Doku's had a great game. There were a big chance around 40th minute. He steps in on Jordan, and I don't think it's foul. He steals the ball, and he's got, I think it's Beauregard pushes up to the left. He's got him open, or he's got quite an open space. The ref comes back for a foul, which I was so annoyed with because it was a lovely tackle. Just sticks foot and doesn't clip Jordan. Jordan obviously go down there. Yeah, it's all Sevilla, but Rennes have these moments where they look like they're going to do a really nice counter-attack or a really nice build-up play, and then nothing comes from them. So I think it's going to end a Sevilla win, but if Rennes can get a draw here, perfect for them. Really. I'm just
looking at the stats like right now for this game, of course, to give you a rough idea for those of you that weren't watching. Sevilla 14 shots, 7 on target. Rennes have had 1 shot, 1 on target at the very least, which is a positive. But it's quite different to the Dortmund Zenit game in the fact that, of course, Sevilla are having so many chances, but not putting it into the back of the net. What does Sevilla have to do here? Because it sounds like in this 30-45, everything is going to plan, but they just don't have that goal.
He's just go. You just keep shooting, keep wearing Gomes down, because eventually he will make a mistake. Like he did have a shaky moment where a cross came in and Diego Carlos flicked it on. But again, he looks like he's not in position, but he just makes saves. Same with the Campos. Campos runs through on the ball, and Gomes again just looks large. And the problem is he is having a wonderful game, and what can Sevilla do apart from just keep on shooting? Like the shots that have come in have been good ones, and it's just keep on putting pressure on him.
It is indeed. You've got to wait on hopefully Gomez crumbles. We've seen it before in games where goalkeepers have had wonder matches and made incredible saves to keep their sides in it. I think the most recent game you can kind of look at that in terms of domestic Champions League, Europa League football would be the Copenhagen game against Man U, where everything was going spot on for Man U in terms of attacking wise, but there was just incredible saves, and maybe we've got another potential match like that tonight for Sevilla against Rennes.
Possibly. I mean, one thing that Sevilla have been dangerous from where Rennes haven't really think is corners with Koundé, Carlos, and Luke de Jong winning the headers, but either someone on the line or Gomes. So just try whipping the balls a bit more. Play to Luke de Jong's advantage. Currently just tried to play it to his feet, and he does really lovely hold-up play, but he hasn't been able to give and go, unfortunately. So try cross it in and see if that can do something different.
But they're going to need not necessarily a lot of luck on their side, but they're going to have to hope Gomes crumbles in the next 45. Thank you very much, Rowan. 0-0 as it currently stands between Sevilla and Rennes. We'll have to find out what happens in the next 45 minutes of that game. We're now going to go to Kieran D, of course. He's covering the 2 games tonight. Manchester United 1, RB Leipzig 0, and Ferencváros 0, Dynamo Kiev 2. We'll talk about the Man United game first with KD. As a Man United fan, KD, you must be happy you 1-0 to the good, but has it been all Man United?
No, it's been a very, very even tie, I'd say. I think we've just had the only clear-cut chance of the half, really. They're a very, very good attacking side, Leipzig. They move you from left to right very, very quickly. And to be fair, maybe they are a little bit unlucky not to have mustered a clear-cut chance, of course. The second half will be difficult. They'll come out chasing the game, so there will be more space. But I think the likes of Fernandes off the bench, Rashford off the bench, I think we've got enough to see it through. I do feel spoilt for goals, though, because the other match got 2 in there as well. Let's go Dynamo Kiev.
Yeah, they're flying right now. We spoke about it earlier in terms of the game, whether it would be an interesting one for Ferencváros. Of course, played Barcelona, lost 5-1, did fairly well, though, which is quite crazy to say for a 5-1 scoreline. Once again, you look at Ferencváros' side, and is it the lack of quality in the team that's costing them, or are they giving Kiev a good game here?
I mean, they're giving him a good game, but it's definitely a lack of quality, because you saw with the first goal, the penalty, he just kicked it onto his own arm, and that is the sort of stuff that will cost you points, and it's cost them today. And I mean, it's an important tie for either of these two in this group. They need the points because, of course, the other two in the group not doing. Well, they're going to catch points on Juventus. That's what I'm trying to say. Or Barcelona if they if the unspeakable happens and one of them doesn't come in the top two.
Absolutely, indeed. It's an interesting game between Ferencváros and Kiev 2 as it currently stands. Back to Man United, RB Leipzig. Of course, for Man U, 1-0 to the good. What do you think Man United do in the game to continue on? Do they continue attacking or do they sit back in this match?
I think the best form of defence is attack. If we can get a second, I think that's when we'll start to see the more defensive changes coming on. McTominay will probably come on from Matic, sees on the yellow. I just think we do need a second goal, and I think when we go forward, we do look dangerous. It's just about the final ball and beating the final man. But whenever they break, Fred has been absolutely excellent today. He's just doing what he does, breaks up the play well, feeds it to the attackers very, very quickly, and it's nice to see him getting back to form. And I think Van der Beek's had a quietly confident game at the CAM spot tonight, but I think he will probably take him off for Fernandes in the second half.
Thank you very much, KD. As it currently stands, Man United 1, RB Leipzig 0, and Ferencváros, of course, 2-0 down to Kiev. We'll bring you back in a little moment. And then, of course, the other game of the night that has had a fair few amount of goals in it. Well, 2 to be quite frankly honest with you. But 2 interesting goals, of course. This is a big game, remember. Lazio missing 9 players tonight. And Club Brugge have got a big opportunity in this game to try and take away 3 points, which you'd expect 9 times out of 10 Lazio to take. Will, has it been a good game so far?
Yeah, it's been all right. Obviously, Lazio took the lead. I think Lazio, when you look at the game on a whole, have been the better side. Club Brugge have failed to create many chances, but I mean, they are tied right now due to that penalty they got given late in the first half. But yeah, it's been an eventful game. I'm just gonna be interested to see what changes are made, because I think both teams need to make some changes here. I think Mariki, he might come on. The Kosovan striker, he might come for Lazio. I think they just need a bit more presence up front. That definitely helped them. Put them alongside Correa, because Caicedo's not been great in the first half. But yeah, it's a massive game for both sides. Obviously, like we said in the first half, both teams are fighting for that top spot in Group F. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens in the second half here.
It's a big chance for both sides indeed, of course. It just talked about Felipe Caicedo there, of course. When you put it on paper, compare it to Immobile, nowhere near as good quality-wise. And can you see tonight, with the lack of the star quality players on the pitch, Lazio looking a bit weaker in terms of their play? Or have they done quite all right tonight against Club Brugge?
I think they've done all right. I mean, they've had the less possession, but I think that's because they've been attacking a lot more than Club Brugge have, and they've had more attempts. But you can definitely tell, without those star players on the pitch, it's going to be much tougher for them. But I think they've handled all right, to be fair, with Club Brugge tonight. I mean, Club Brugge, they're a funny team, because obviously they beat Zenit match week 1, and they have played decent tonight. They've just failed to create many opportunities because they just don't really have that recognisable striker. But yeah, I think Lazio could be happy with the performance, to say, with the players they've got on the pitch. But they'll definitely be looking to leave tonight with a win and make it 2 out of 2 in the Champions League.
They definitely will indeed. Thank you very much, Will. As it currently stands, Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1, and we've timed that incredibly perfectly, because we are about to get underway with the second half of fixtures across the board this evening. Just to update before we do get back into the second half, I'm going to update it because some of the games are about to start. As it currently stands at half-time, Juventus 0, Barcelona 1. There has been a change in this game. Sergio Busquets has come onto the pitch. Man United 1-0 up against RB Leipzig. Dortmund 0, Zenit 0. Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1. Sevilla 0, Rennes 0. And Ferencváros 2-0 down to Dinamo Kiev. Now, of course, as we've seen in yesterday's fixtures, the second half of the Champions League turned out to be quite good, to be honest. It was a 15-20 minute spell where it was just a flurry of goals. And, of course, we'll have to see what happens in the second half, because that's where it all kicked off last night. Question is, can we see more goals tonight? We find out in a moment as the second half gets underway of Juventus and Barcelona, and the second half of all the games pretty much gets underway. Just having a look right now in the chat in terms of substitutions. Zuba's actually come off for Zenit here. Mostovoy has come on. I'm going to bring Kieran in for a second here just to ask him a question. Is it a tactical decision, Kieran, or has he picked up an injury, do you think?
I can only presume tactical, because I saw nothing else, if that's really the thinking of it. But I told you, Josh, at half-time it was a graveyard shift and he'd done nothing to hold up the ball. He'd not really helped his team out at all. So even though it might be an injury, it might also be a blessing in disguise, because he didn't have his best game, because we've seen Zuba have very good games. Tonight wasn't one of them. And we'll see what Mostovoy brings. Definitely brings a lot more pace. So maybe he thinks instead of having Dortmund front them up and hold the ball up, just hit them over the top and see what they can catch. That might be the new tactic.
Exactly, and I think as well you can look at it to a certain extent as a good change for Zenit because they want to attack and they want to try and win.
Oh well, that's a good. It's nice to see, is what I'm basically trying to say, because we saw Shakhtar, bless them, they tried their hardest, but they didn't. They rarely attacked. Hopefully Zenit will go for it, but I think it might just be another a barrage of Dortmund chances as they just flash a ball across the box, which almost gets turned in by a Dortmund attacker. But I expect a lot of this.
It's going to be a long 45, I think, for Zenit. Thank you very much, Kieran. As it currently stands, 0-0 4. We just checked there. Of course, Juba has been playing the graveyard shift tonight, and he'll be now sat on the bench for the rest of the 45, watching on in this game. Not really done much at all, but we'll have to see what happens with 45 minutes of action left. But we are underway now in every single game in the Champions League for the second half. We'll have to find out what happens. Hopefully we can get some goals, because although we did get a few goals across the board tonight, we haven't really had that one game you want to pick out and say that has been the match of the night. I guess you could probably say in terms of the matches of the night, of course, Man United won up against Leipzig, good for them. Kiev, probably best game of the night so far in terms of a big result for these two sides. Although we are going back to KL because there has been another chance in his game. The question is, have Zenit made the most of their substitution with a chance?
No, it's Dortmund again. Gio Reyna tries to chip the ball through after a 1-2. It ricochets off Rakitsky. It falls to Royce. It's so close. He curls it round the keeper. He hits the post. I'm beginning to question whether it's Dortmund's night or not. But it was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But I wonder if that's going to creep into these Dortmund's players' head. You know, if this gets to the 70 or so minutes and they just keep defensively solid, they might worry.
They might indeed. We saw it with Inter Milan. They started worrying and getting a bit frustrated in terms of how they missed chances and vital opportunities. And it could happen tonight for Dortmund as well. But thank you very much, Kyle. Currently 0-0 as it stands between Dortmund and Zenit. Question is, are we going to get that first goal of the night? We are heading towards the 50th minute mark of these fixtures in the Champions League this evening. We haven't had our first second half goal of the night as of yet. But of course, our main game tonight is Juventus and Barcelona. There has, to be honest, been naffle going on in this first 5 minutes. There was a little chance a moment ago for Artur, of course, coming up against his former side tonight. He has come onto the pitch in this game, and he's not really done a great deal so far. But he had a long-range effort against his former club. And I have a slight feeling tonight that if Artur does score, he will probably celebrate against Barcelona for the fact of how they shipped him out of the club, which means I kind of want to see Artur score tonight. But he's got about 40 minutes to be able to try and get one goal into the back of the net, because we did already see in the first half they had 2 goals in the back of the net, Juventus, which were both disallowed for offside. Alvaro Morata with 2 correct offside decisions, I have to say. Nothing that is exactly controversial in the 2 decisions from the linesman and the referee. But Barcelona, as it currently stands, haven't really been majorly convincing in this game, but I can't really say Juventus have been convincing either, although Barcelona coming forward here. It is Ousmane Dembélé about 30 yards out from goal, outside of the box. He's going to lay the ball off into Lionel Messi, who tries to feed the ball towards Pedri, can't get a touch on the ball, and eventually it's going to go out of play for a Juventus throw-in. And of course, it's interesting to see tonight how Pedri does, the youngster. No Ansu Fati in the starting 11. I presume we might see him come on at some point in this game, although they're coming forward once again here. It's Lionel Messi just at the edge of the box in the attacking half of play. Going to spread the ball towards Jordi Alba. Tries to feed the ball towards Messi, but the left-back's touch is a little bit too heavy towards the Argentinian magician, and it's going out of play for a Barcelona corner. So a little bit lively in these first few minutes, which is good to see, because I have to say that first 45 was fairly quiet, apart from the 2 offside decisions and the original goal that came from Ousmane Dembélé. And I think he's been their best player so far. Had a couple of good chances, but we do have a corner here. And if Barcelona can make it 2-0, it's going to make things very interesting indeed. It's played short. Going to be played eventually just at the edge of the box towards Pjanic, who's taking a shot on. And eventually has hit Demiral. It's going to be cleared away. But we are going to go to the game between Manchester United and RB Leipzig, because there's been the first chance of the second half in this game. The question is it Man U's or is it Leipzig's first chance of the second half, Kieran?
I'm not quite sure how we haven't been given a penalty. Oh, the ball's come right the way through the penalty area there. Sorry. we broke down the left-hand side, and Martial was just past everyone. He got to the byline, whipped it back across. I'm just seeing the replay now. It comes off. Well, it's absolutely attacked by absolutely nobody. Konate slides in. It hits his body, hits Angelino's foot, hits Konate's arm, who's on the floor. Like his arm is almost in, like he's trying to get up, and it's hit his arm so blatantly. And it's not been given as a penalty because his arm's not in a natural position, because it's classed as ball to hand. But I thought ball to hand had been scrapped, and everything that had touched the hand would be handball. To me, that is a blatant penalty, but maybe that's just my bias. Still 1-0 though.
Still 1-0 as it currently stands. I mean, I've looked at the decision there, and I have to say, I'm looking at it. It's one of those where I'm surprised it hasn't been checked by VAR. But as you said, it's because it's not intentional that, of course, we can't go to VAR and have it checked.
Just the fact that it was his fault that he ended up on the floor. It wasn't the fault of any other player or anything. He was the one that dived on the floor to get the ball. That's what makes me think it's a penalty.
It's an interesting call. The question is he going to come back to bite Manchester United, or are we going to see them win the game? Well, we'll have to find out. But it currently stands. Thank you very much, KD. Still 1-0 to Manchester United. Interesting decision there. If you're watching the United game, do you agree or disagree? Do tell us in the chat. But we are going to go to Rowan. First chance of the second half between Sevilla and Rennes. The question is, have Rennes had their second chance of the game, Rowan?
Of course not. It's Sevilla again, and this time it's Jules Koundé plays a lovely ball over the top to Mooney. It's something that these two centre-backs have been doing a lot of the season, especially this game as well. But lovely float ball straight to Mooney, and Mooney is only just offside. It's an extremely close decision, but Mooney runs through, and he just couldn't put it in the back of the net. But Sevilla again are looking real dangerous. It's just also the referee has just given a free kick. Terrier has just tried to call for it. He's just run straight into Koundé and then gone down clutching his ankle, but he's given a free kick to Sevilla. But Sevilla knocking on Rennes' door again, but just couldn't even put it in the back of the net this time.
Yeah, struggling. They've got to get a goal soon. And then, of course, you put in the chat as well. I didn't get to say it beforehand. Boujard has come off for Lea Saliki. Another injury in that game.
So
serious one or?
No, again, he just limp. He just says, I need to come off, and he's walked all around the pitch limping, and when he's come to the thingy, he's still limping. So it doesn't look severe for both these injuries, but it's a little niggle that probably this Rennes side could do without.
Exactly. They've already got a few issues with players being suspended, and of course, and Zon's been one of those players that's been suspended by the club and things like that. You don't want issues.
He got sent off after the game last match day 1, which I didn't realise.
Did he?
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
Anyway. I think so.
Which is a shame for them, but 2 injuries, which is what they don't need right now. But thank you very much, Rose. Still currently 0-0 between Sevilla and Rennes. It feels like we're going to get a goal soon in this game, doesn't it?
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Thank you very much, Rowan. We'll bring you back in a little bit. Of course, 0-0 as it currently stands between Sevilla and Rennes. Hopefully, I've just seen the joke in the chat. Unbelievable. Chaos, but good to see it's not a severe injury. We love it. There we go. Where's Tim? He'd appreciate that one again. I can see Kieran's delighted with his joke there. He's loving it. But in terms of the actual game itself, obviously, Rennes have had 2 injuries. Hopefully, enough for 2 series for the 2 players. And of course, still 0-0 in that game. So if they can come out with a point, I think they'll be fairly happy with that result tonight. And then, of course, we'll go back to the decision a moment ago in the Man U RB Leipzig game. Interesting decision with the Konate penalty shout. Surprised it hasn't been checked, but of course, in terms of VAR, it's not been used in this situation. But Juventus here coming forward in this game against Barcelona, and we might have a goal. Is it going to count? Is it going to count? Because Morata has the ball in the back of the net, and it does count this time. Well, Morata, he's had 2 goals disallowed tonight. He has stopped because the referee is checking this for another offside. Are we about to see a hat-trick of offside goals here? Just looking at the actual goal here, I have to say this is offside. Now, as it currently stands, it's going to count. So I'm going to put 1-1 Barcelona. It's a ball lofted into the box from Chiesa into the path of Alvaro Morata. When you actually look at where Morata is, he is offside, I think. Might count, might not, but Morata might get here a hat-trick of offside goals. And it's a good finish from the Spaniard. And, of course, this is just getting checked, I believe, from the referee, which, of course, right now there's a stop in play. If Morata has this disallowed, unbelievable. What an incredible night for Morata. for the wrong reasons. He's had a hat-trick of goals that will be disallowed, but he's being checked right now by VAR, and VAR has been certainly busy tonight in this game. It's had a lot of work to do in terms of disallowed goals, but I think Morata here is going to be very frustrated if this is disallowed. And when you actually look at the goal back, and when the camera is paused from the straight view down the touchline, Morata does look like he's offside, and it's another marginal decision, but you can see, I think his left leg is off. And Sasha put in the chat, VAR, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And then, of course, he's put, not again. It looks like it's going to happen again. And it's a long decision, this one. Just seeing what happens here, of course. As it currently stands, is technically 1-1, but I think this is going to be disallowed, and it's a long decision that has been taken by the referee here. And while that decision has been taken, we finally have a goal in the Sevilla-Rennes game. But the question is, have Rennes taken the lead, or have Sevilla got the lead that they deserve? Rowan.
I wish I could say it was sad Rennes, even though I love Sevilla. And again, it's that ball over the top. It's a great control by Fernando, and it's a lovely... Sorry, it's Acuna. It's Fernando plays a lovely ball to Acuna. Acuna chests it down, hits it on the volley, dips it into the box, perfectly weighted. Then Luke de Jong pokes it in with his foot. The goal finally comes. They finally get past Gomez. Well done, Sevilla. But that is a wonderful, wonderful ball by the new boy, Acuna.
Fantastic for Sevilla indeed. They have been knocking on the door for what feels like forever, and they have finally got the goal in their game. Thank you very much, Rowan, indeed. I cannot believe it. It's been disallowed. We have a hat-trick of disallowed goals for Morata, and it was the right decision. Look, at the end of the day, it's very unfortunate for Morata in this situation. But it was one of those where I don't really know why it took that long for VAR to look at the decision to give it as an offside. And of course, I guess they've got to make sure that the decision's spot on. But Morata has a hat trick of disallowed goals, and Barcelona here are still 1-0 up somehow. And Morata, you can quite clearly see he is very pissed off at the fact now he's got a hat trick. Disallowed goals indeed, but a real shame for him as Juventus do come forward here. Can Morata get 4 disallowed goals? You never know. We'll have to find out over time with this game continuing on with about half an hour left to go. But we've had Fares come off for Mariki in that game between Club Brugge and Lazio. Was Will talked about earlier, he expected Mariki to come on. And we have had a goal elsewhere. And it's a very interesting goal indeed, because it is a goal for Ferencváros, and this is slowly turning into game of the night. Kieran, take us away.
Oh, what a goal. Tokmak and Guan take a bounce and in the box, hits it with his left foot, and it curls like almost outside into the far right-hand corner. It's such a good finish. It was a very scrappy goal, the build-up anyway, and it's a really good finish off the post and in, and Ferencváros back in the game out of absolutely nothing.
And I mean, I'm just seeing the opportunity now on the replay. Of course, Ferencváros, we've said about them tonight, trying to get their way back into this game. 2-0 down. It looks tricky. We've seen a bit of fighting spirit from them in that game against Barcelona, but it's a great finish. Really good finish from Tokmak Nguyen. Just takes it on the turn, doesn't he, first time? Lovely finish from him.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic finish from the winger, and it gives his team something to play on now. I mean, like I said, a goal from absolutely nothing. They've not really done anything in this second half, but if they can get a point, what a massive, massive point it is for them, potentially to go into the Europa League.
It'd be very big indeed. Thank you very much, KD, for what is slowly becoming, as I said earlier, the game of the night. It's had 3 goals in it, and it looks like we could maybe see Ferencváros show a little bit of that fighting spirit that they had against Barcelona in that game. Of course, they were 5-1 down in the end in that match, but they had a really good 15, 20-minute spell where you thought that they were going to try and at least get 1 goal in the game. But 2-1 in that match as it currently stands. Half an hour left of the game. Interested to see what happens in that one with the 3 goals. But we've had a yellow card in this game between Barcelona and Juventus. Perlo just complaining there. I think it was Artur that was fouled, and just trying to see Miralem Pjanic who's gone into the book there. Referee, left with no choice. It's a correct decision there. And Sasha's put in the chat, VAR bar humbug, of course, with Morata with the disallowed hat trick of goals. And then Bernardo's put poor Morata, lol. It really just isn't his night in terms of keeping onside. It's marginal. That's what I mean. It's pre-marginal offsides. The last one that I saw there was spot on, and the other two before were spot on. So it's not like these are controversial decisions. It's just Morata needs to keep himself onside. And we could have been saying here, Juventus 3, Barcelona 1, because you have to say, as I said earlier, this Juventus side doesn't look necessarily strong. It's not the greatest side in the world, but somehow Barcelona aren't really doing too good against them tonight, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, of course, with about half an hour left of the game, whether Juventus can finally get that first goal of the match. But it's still, as it currently stands, 1-0 to Barcelona. And an update for you guys in the Dortmund Zenit game. It's as good as it gets right now. It's raining. That's about as enjoyable as the match between Dortmund and Zenit has been. Hopefully, we're not on for another 0-0 for Kieran now, because we have seen a fair few 0-0s in the past with Kieran now, and it looks like he's about to get another one unless the game kicks on. But let's go back to Juventus Barcelona here, because we haven't really had many updates tonight. I apologise about it, because there's a good chance here for Messi to come forward. Lays the ball to Ousmane Dembele, who wants to pass it back to Messi again. He's come back to Dembele inside of the box, the right-hand side, but some great defending at the back from Danilo, just hoofs the ball away from the goal. And it was a really good chance there for the Frenchman to potentially get his second goal of the night. Although Barcelona are going to come on the attack again here. It's Jordi Alba on the left wing, feeds the ball towards Pedri. It's going to come for Lionel Messi, who takes the shot on first time, and it's just wide at the left-hand side of the post. And very nearly we saw a little bit of Messi magic in this game. It would have been a lovely finish from the Argentinian, but hit with maybe a little bit too much power for it to go into the back of the net, but a good chance there for Messi. Still 1-0 to Barcelona in this game. And there have been a few changes in the Manchester United match between themselves and RB Leipzig. Rashford and McTominay have come on. Matic and Greenwood have come off. And then Benjamin Henrichs has come off. Marcel Sabitzer has come on in that game. Of course, Leipzig looking to push a little bit further more in this game. They've got about half an hour left of the match to try and get themselves a goal in that game. But it was around this time yesterday where things got a little bit exciting in the Champions League. We had a flurry of goals. I don't kind of feel like we're going to get the same again tonight from how the games have gone so far, although Juventus are coming forward here. Morata just at the edge of the box, tries to play the ball into Chiesa. He can't get a touch on the ball. Dybala does get a touch on the ball, though, on the right wing, tries to curl the ball into the top corner. Unfortunately, blocked by Longley, although Juventus are trying to come forward here once again. And I'm just seeing right now a couple of things going on as well in some of the other matches. It's been a very quiet night in the Champions League. Indeed, we've got hopefully, 25 minutes left. And I think right now there'll be a few people, especially Kieran now, probably hoping that this 25 minutes goes past very quickly, because it's been very dead indeed so far. But Juventus 0, Barcelona 1, Man United 1, Leipzig 0, Dortmund 0, Zenit 0, Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1, Sevilla 1, Rennes 0, and Ferencváros 1, Dynamo Kiev 2 in that game. Really good game so far in that match between Ferencváros and Kiev. And my lord, this is a gift of an opportunity. How have Barcelona not scored from this? It's Pedri, the youngster, the Spanish youngster who was seen last week leaving the Champions League game in a taxi. He's inside the box on the right wing. He cuts the ball onto his left foot, completely swoops himself past Danilo and Kulusevski, who's come back to defend. He tries to curl the ball into the bottom left-hand corner, and it's just wide of the mark. But there is a slight deflection, which means Barcelona here do have a corner as Ansu Fati is about to come onto the pitch. But we have had a chance in the game between Manchester United and RB Leipzig. The question is, who's had the chance, KD?
Oh, it was Leipzig, and what a chance it was. It was a floated ball in. Sorlof's just come on for Nkunku. As this corner's put in by Leipzig and headed away by Leipzig. The chance was for Konate, who was involved in that potential penalty earlier. The ball came in, I think it was by Sabitzer, and him and Poulsen collided, and Konate got the better off of it because he managed to get back up and head on goal. He was literally point blank out from David De Gea, and David De Gea made a fantastic save to keep it at 1-0. We're hanging on a little bit here, but we need that second goal, as I said at half-time.
Do indeed. 25 minutes left of that game. Man United 1, RB Leipzig 0. Holding on slightly, but you never know. Good save from David De Gea there, keeping Man U in the match. Thank you very much, KD. As always, we've, as I said, 25 minutes of action left to go in the Champions League this evening. It has been very quiet indeed across the board tonight. I've just seen in the chat, Will describe the Club Brugge Lazio game as this game is as flat as a 3-week-old bottle of Coke. Now, that is very flat indeed. And of course, I think Kieran L's game is probably about 6-week-old Coke bottle. Very flat indeed right now, but 1-1 between Club Brugge and Lazio. When we have a chance in those two games we were talking about, unbelievable. There's drama across the board. It's incredible. Let's go to Will first with his Club Brugge Lazio chance. 1-1. Has it livened up a little bit, Will?
It has. Last couple of minutes is definitely livened up a bit. And a chance there. Sorry about that. I'll just talk over this. What's going on here? It's Club Brugge applying the pressure now on Lazio. The chance I said happened earlier on was a chance for Club Brugge, and it was Ritz free header in the box about 5 yards out. And it's an unbelievable save from Pepe Reina, rolling back the years. The ball went out for a corner, and he punched with the corner again. So Club Brugge are applying the pressure on Lazio in his last 5 minutes. We've gone a bit quiet, and they're on the attack again here. I'll just keep you updated, see if anything else happens here. But yeah, Club Brugge last 5 minutes, they're all over Lazio here. It's the best they've played all game, in my opinion.
Fingers crossed you can have at least an opportunity because it's been very quiet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like 20 minutes into the second half here, and this has been alive as it's got really in the game. But the chances really evolved into nothing. So if you want to go to Kieran, I'll let you get off to Kieran. I'll let you know if anything else happens.
Thank you very much, Will. I'll bring you back in a little bit, see if any chance does happen. It's Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1. Let's go over to Kieran L because there has finally been a chance in the second half of this game between Dortmund and Zenit. It's been a flat one, but who's had that first chance in the second half, Kieran?
It's Dortmund again. It was Mahmoud Dahoud, who actually has just been substituted for Thorgan Hazard, so this chance was his last impact on the game. He picked the ball up about 20 yards out just to the right-hand side. He shot long range across the keeper and clipped the outside of the left post, so it's as close as most have come today, but that's the post and the bar for Dortmund. It's getting nervy.
They're slowly getting there. They might get a goal soon. We'll have to find out. Thank you very much, Kale. We'll probably see you at the end of the game with how this match has been so far. So we'll see in about half an hour. But thank you very much. 0-0 as it currently stands between Dortmund and Zenit. It has been a fairly quiet one. So if you are watching that game, I suggest, tucking yourself in bed and going to sleep because it'll be more enjoyable than that game so far. But let's go back to Will because there was a chance in that game between Club Brugge and Lazio. Let's find out what happened there. Will, take it away.
Chance for Club Brugge. I do not know how they don't lead this game. Massive opportunity. The ball's put into the middle by Diatta, who I've got to say he's been absolutely fantastic for Club Brugge today, causing a lot of problems. I see you smiling. Is it falling over Rotherham or something?
No. I'm just seeing some certain stuff going on the bottom of my screen.
Yeah. Diatta, he's been causing problems all night. He gets down the right-hand side, puts it into the middle. De Ketelaere, the striker, he goes for a little back heel. He completely missed it. But he goes to the left wing back, Sobol, and he's got an open opportunity, and he puts it wide. The goal was open, the chance was there for him, and he blasted it wide for about 7, 8 yards out. And it's just a massive chance from wasted for Club Brugge, but they are looking like the more likely team to get the winner here. Hans Vanaken now pushing forward with Sobol again. Switches played to Diatta. Oh, it's a terrible ball. But yeah, remains 1-1, but I won't be surprised if Club Brugge can take the lead here.
Thank you very much, Will. 1-1 as it currently stands. We are getting towards the final 20 minutes of these games. And to be honest, I think the majority of these games tonight, the final 20 minutes could not come quick enough because it has been fairly quiet across the board tonight in these Champions League fixtures. But there has been a chance in that game between Man United and RB Leipzig. The last time we talked to Kieran D, it sounded like Leipzig were having a little bit more of a foothold in this game, putting on the pressure on the home side. The question is, was it a Leipzig chance or was it a Manchester United opportunity? KD?
Oh, well, it was a free kick originally, Josh. That's why I put the chance. And it's chipped over the wall by Bruno Fernandes. And Martial couldn't get a strong enough touch on it to direct it home. It's a great save by Galaxy. Man United still got the ball. Shaw whips into the area towards Fernandes. He's obviously not going to win the header. And it's cleared away. But that was a really good chance. And it should probably be 2-0. Martial should be doing better with that.
You should be doing better with it indeed. Thank you very much, KD. It could have been 2-0 to Manchester United. They're still 1-0 as it currently stands with about 20 minutes left to go of that game. And I have to say tonight, Juventus Barcelona hasn't been an amazing game. There's been a yellow card here for Demiral, just stopping Messi on the counter-attack as he tries to push forward and get that second goal for Barcelona tonight. And they've had their opportunities. I have to admit, it does feel like Barcelona will eventually get that second goal because as it currently stands, Juventus haven't had a shot on target all night, although they've had 3 goals in the back of the net and they've been disallowed. It's been a weird night for Juventus because, to be honest, it does look like a game that they could have quite easily won, but there's still a little bit of time left in this game. We'll have to find out what happens indeed, but we have had a change in the game between Dortmund and Zenit. Kozayev is off and Ozdoev is on. So we're loving it right now. Some action going on there in terms of substitutions. There is about 20 minutes left of that game, of course. Time's starting to run out for either of those two sides to nick a winner. But you never know. It might happen soon. And well, that flurry of goals we had last night was certainly not coming tonight, was it? It has been a pretty poor set of fixtures this evening in the Champions League in terms of goals. I mean, of course, the biggest game of the night in terms of goals has been Ferencváros and Kiev of all games. It's had 3 goals in it so far, and you would assume that one might have another goal in it maybe towards the end. We'll have to find out indeed, but as it currently stands in the Champions League tonight with 20 minutes to go, Barcelona's still 1-0 up against Juventus, courtesy of Ousmane Dembele's goal, although they're actually in the box right now, and they've got another chance here maybe to make it 2-0, which just is at the edge of the box right now with Pjanic. He's going to lay it back all the way to long lane defence, and the chance goes a miss there for Barcelona. United 1-0 up against RB Leipzig. Been an interesting game of football indeed, that one. Dortmund 0, Zenit 0, not much going on there. Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1. That one's getting a little bit more feisty with 22 minutes to go left of that match. Sevilla 1-0 up against Stade Rennes. They have deserved that goal from the stats today against Rennes. There's been so many opportunities in the game for Sevilla, and they did eventually get that goal in the second half, which was certainly deserved. And the Ferencváros, of course, 2-1 down to Kiev. That's got plenty of time left in it, and I feel like we might have a goal or two left in that game, but we will have to find out here. Back to the Juventus-Barcelona game, and I have to say tonight the quality of football in this match has been a little bit poor in terms of the two sides, not really shown up to what we would have expected these two teams to show, of course. But Juventus missing Ronaldo tonight. Big loss in a game like this, of course. It was being touted as that Ronaldo versus Messi game. And, of course, with Ronaldo having COVID, he's unfortunately not able to have a part in this game tonight. But we should hopefully see him for that next fixture when these guys do play each other, I think in match day 5 of the competition. So it'll be interesting to see when these two teams do face up against each other again. But we'll have to find out, of course, when that game happens in a few weeks' time. Of course, match day 3 is next week. We'll talk about through all the stuff coming towards the end of the stream. But we've got about 20 minutes left here. In fact, we've got about 18 minutes left to be precise. And it has been a very quiet night indeed. How are you all doing in the chat? Do tell us what game you're watching tonight, because either way, there's not really been many interesting games at all across the board. And I'm pretty sure most people will probably not be. I mean, there's some decent games. There'll be some people who'll be a little bit frustrated at the lack of goals tonight. But of course, if you're a Man U fan, you'll be delighted. 1-0 up against RB Leipzig. You know, as it currently stands, you'll be topping the table in that group. And let's have a quick look, actually, at the Champions League groups, because I think it's interesting to have a look at the table. And we're only 2 games in, but it's always important to have a look and kind of have a gander at what's going on across the board in these groups. So we'll do that in a second, because just seeing in the chat there that Bernardo's put, he's listening to the Juve Barca game, and you haven't really missed a great deal, to be honest, in this match at all, Bernardo. It's been fairly quiet indeed. But there has been a goal in the United Leipzig game. There has been a substitution as well in the Dortmund and Zenit game, which we'll talk about in a second. The question is it a United 2-0 up, or have Leipzig equalised, KD?
Well, Marcus Rashford's put the ball in the back of the net. It was an absolutely electric counter-attack. Fernandes passes it to him. And when Fernandes passes the ball, Marcus Rashford is inside his own half. This is why the goal is being checked. He ran through, slotted it past Galaxy really well. They're checking it on VAR. He looks in his own half, but of course I'm going to say that. But my total unbiased opinion is that he is inside his own half, maybe by a foot or something. You've probably seen it, Josh. Now, it is being checked. It was a really good finish from Rashford, which I was very surprised with, because I thought he was going to miss it. But the assistant's flag went up instantly, almost as if he knew. The replay showed that Rashford, potentially the camera angle, made it look like he was inside his own half. We've got a long VAR check if you want to go back to me.
I'm just looking right now, actually. I've just seen the VAR check. And as you said, when you look at the camera angle that they're showing on TV, it does look like he's inside his own half.
The ball has been given. It is 2-0 to Manchester United. And Marcus Rashford has another one.
Surely that could be game, set and match now, do you think? Or do you think Leipzig will try and push a little bit more in this last 15 minutes? I
mean, I said we needed the second goal, and that was an absolutely electrifying counter-attack. It was a really, really good movement. Really good finish. Of course, Leipzig, they're not going to lay down now, but we needed the second goal so we can lift the pressure that we were under, because they were literally all over us. But good goal.
You were under Koch indeed. Thank you very much, KD. As it stands, 2-0 to Man United. Be absolutely buzzing with that result, of course. United, big result if they can hold on to that with 15 minutes left to go in that game right now. Let's find out what happens there. But there was a change, of course. I said I don't want to go in that game between Dortmund and Zenit. And there's been some great changes because Marco Reus has come off the pitch and Julian Brandt has come on. And then a certain icon of the game has come on for Zenit. Yuri Zirkov, the 900-year-old fullback, former Chelsea man, of course, has come onto the pitch. Driussi's come off the pitch. So just know that Yuri Zirkov is playing Champions League football still. Incredible. Absolutely incredible indeed to see. We do like Yuri Zirkov. He seems to just never age. He's incredible. But yeah, going back to that game, of course, against Man U and Leipzig, it was the correct decision there in terms of the offside. It was he was quite clearly onside and inside his own half. And of course, Man U now looking like they're going to go on and win that game against RB Leipzig. And it looks like, from what Kieran said, that Yuri Zirkov is playing as the left mid. So we've got an attacking Yuri Zirkov. We love to see it. If he can score the winner tonight, then it makes it even better indeed. But we have got around about, I would say, about under 15 minutes left of these games across the Champions League tonight. And it has been a fairly quiet evening of action in the Champions League. Although we're going to go back to the Manchester United game here because there's been a goal. Have Man United made it 3-0 or have Leipzig got a goal back?
Oh, it's Fred again. He nicks the ball. Rashford absolutely skims up a Meccano and powers it past Galaxy. It's 3-0 to Manchester United. It's an absolutely fantastic finish from Rashford. Game over. That's all I've got to say.
It's indeed game over. Thank you very much, KD. We're going to quickly run over to Dortmund Zenit because there's been a penalty. KL, who's got the penalty?
I'm in. It's Dortmund. It's a cross on the right-hand side by Meunier. It's whipped in. Thorgan Hazard looks if he's going for it, and Karabayev is all over him. And he drags him down with him. Referee, no hesitation, points to the spot. Jadon Sancho versus Kurzakov. To be fair, this has looked like the only way they'll break down this Zenit side tonight, with a set piece and a dead ball. Sancho, up he steps, bottom right, 1-0 Dortmund.
Thank you very much indeed. At least you've got a goal tonight, Kyle, because it looked like this one wasn't going to have a goal in it, did it really?
Yeah, no, not for a while, but to be fair, it's one of them defending so well all night for Zenit. And to make a mistake like that in the box and just be so... He didn't even try. He's dragging him. If you see the opportunity, you'll know what I mean. There's no way it's not a penalty. Just really sloppy after they've been great all night.
Very sloppy indeed. Thank you very much, KL. It is Dortmund 1, Zenit 0. And well, we said tonight that Dortmund, they were going to be under severe pressure in this game to get a result because, of course, they dropped points in their previous game against Lazio, didn't get anything in that match. And it looked like tonight they were going to come out of this game with only 1 point against Zenit, but they got that penalty. Sancho's put it away. 1-0 to Dortmund. Big goal in that game, of course. Dortmund needing as many points as they can possibly get in this game. There's been a few things going on as well in the Sevilla Rennes game. A couple of substitutions going on there. Rakitic come on for Oliver Torres, and Sopi has come off for Dalbert in the Rennes game. And then we've had a chance in the Club Brugge Lazio game. It's starting to get a little bit lively now with 10 minutes left of action. Who's had that chance, Will?
It's Lazio, and it's come from nothing again. Obviously, the chance for Club Brugge came from nothing a few minutes ago, but this one's come from absolutely nothing for Lazio. It's just a long ball over the top to Milinkovic-Savic of all people making a run forward. It's a point blank chance for him, but Mignolet, fair play to him, comes rushing off his line, makes a phenomenal stop. But Lazio, it's a massive opportunity to take a 2-1 lead there because, like I said, I think Brugge have been the better side in the second half, but Lazio, the massive opportunity there to take the lead, but they did not take it, and it remains 1-1, and we've got 13 minutes plus additional time to play.
Thank you very much indeed, Will. 1-1 as it currently stands between Club Brugge and Lazio. Time running out, of course, for either of the two sides to nick a winner in this game. But we are getting around the final 10 minutes of these fixtures tonight. If you're on Instagram, as always, do leave a like and subscription. It's very greatly appreciated, as always, as we try and push towards 1,300 subscribers. But as it currently stands across the board with 10 minutes left of these Champions League fixtures, Juventus currently 1-0 down to Barcelona. Have had 3 disallowed goals in this game. In fact, I'm going to have to stop for a second because there's been a big chance in that game between Sevilla and Rennes. What's happened, Rowan? Take it away.
It should be 2-0. Jordan is just not closed down. He has acres of space to pass to Jesus and Navas. Navas could build a fucking school there, but Jordan just keeps him running, not closed down. He whips it just outside the box and it rattles off the crossbar. It's so close to being such a lovely goal for Jordan. Bleached Jordan now, and unfortunately, it isn't. It's still 1-0. Ooh, Rennes fighting back that though, but no. And as this game is, Sevilla get it cleared comfortably.
There we go. Got it in the end.
We nearly got it.
I mean, I've just seen the chance now on my screen, and it's a really good chance. And, Gomez is beaten. He's completely beaten. He's so unlucky that if that's a little bit lower, it's coming off the crossbar and in. Great chance there.
So close.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Still 1-0 as it currently stands to Sevilla. We're going to flip over to the game currently right now between Club Brugge and Lazio. This one's getting lively towards the end. Who's had the chance now, Will?
It's a chance for Club Brugge this time. And honestly, I don't know how they've not scored. The ball's put into the middle by Diatta again. I said he's been causing a lot of problems. He caused another one here. It looks like the ball's about to go out of play, but it's kept in play by Matchday. Reina wants an offside, but they continue to play. Puts it into the middle. Reina makes a really good save. It falls to Vanak, and he can't get the ball out of his feet. And then it falls to Vormer, the captain, and he just blazes it over the bar from like 5 yards out. Another massive chance for Club Brugge, not taken. But I think there's definitely one more goal in this game, and someone's going to get the winner.
Thank you very much, Will. Still 1-1 in that game with about, I would say, 10 minutes of the match left to go. Let's have a look at the chat and see what's going on right now. Of course, been a few substitutions, actually, to talk about very quickly. Manu, of course, now 3-0 against RB Leipzig. Going to get a victory tonight. Good result for Manchester United, of course. Axel Tuanzebe and Cavani have both come on. Wan-Bissaka and Martial coming off, of course. Now they can make a few decent substitutions in this game. Pogba actually coming off in this game for Martial. Pogba coming off. Not Martial coming off. So Tuanzebe and Cavani on, Wan-Bissaka and Pogba off. And then Wilmar Barrios has come off in the game for Zenit. On has come Sutormin right now. So Zenit, of course, trying to push back with a few minutes left of that game to try and nick a equalising goal. And talk about equalising goals, Juventus in this game, there's been really fuck all to talk about in this match. It's been pretty boring, to be honest, which is quite sad to say for a game of, with two exceptional teams. But Artur apparently... coming on here, Bentancur coming off, and Rabiot coming off as well. Not really been much going on, to be honest. It's been such a quiet game, which is frustrating. And Bernardeschi's come on, actually, for Rabiot there. So a few more changes in this game as they try and push to get an equalising goal. Of course, Morata has had 3 goals disallowed in this match tonight. Very unfortunate for him, but they were 3 right decisions. As we get towards the final few minutes of these Champions League fixtures. And do tell us in the chat what you think of tonight's games, because they've been pretty quiet across the board. Of course, Man U tonight with a big victory against Leipzig. A very good victory indeed. And just seeing in the chat right now, Chris has put RB Leipzig back to reality now. More lessons to be learnt for Nagelsmann, which is a very good point indeed. And I think the only thing that Nagelsmann doesn't need training in is the attire of his suits. They're absolutely fantastic. Great suit. Fantastic attire he's got. Just a shame that Leipzig tonight have been very, very poor indeed. And Manchester United, of course, capitalising on their opportunity tonight with a big victory against Leipzig, of course, with a couple of minutes left of that game. But we are now down towards the final, roughly 5 to 10 minutes of these matches. And can we get some winners in these games? Because remember, although these games currently haven't had many goals in them, they're still incredibly tight, and we could see some late winners. Of course, Juventus and Barcelona still only 1-0 to Barcelona, and Juventus, they are pushing to try and get a winner, an equaliser in that match. Of course, that game is done dusted between Man United and RB Leipzig. Dortmund and Zenit. Dortmund only 1-0 up. Can Zenit get a late goal in that game and equalise and shock the German side at home? Club Brugge and Lazio, we've talked to Will, of course. He's had a fair few opportunities in his game. Can anybody nick a late winner in that match? Sevilla only still 1-0 up against Rennes. Can Rennes get a shot late equaliser in that game? And Ferencváros Kiev, currently 2-1 to Kiev. Although we're going to have to go back here to KD because there's a penalty. Manchester United, could they go 4-0 up?
Oh, who would have thought Man United to get a penalty, by the way? Martial straight through the middle. I think Leipzig have just stopped caring. And Sabitzer goes in with the clumsiest of challenges, honestly. Gary Neville would have been giving it the biggest ooh of his life. But I think Marcus Rashford has the chance to score his first ever hat-trick. Please get the ball, Rashford. Don't let Fernandes take it.
You would expect, in this situation, Rashford to take it.
I hope he takes it, but I've just seen him... Martial is taking it. Why is Martial taking it? Fair enough. Martial stepping over the ball. I don't know why Marcus Rashford's not taking it. But Martial against Galaxy to make it 4-0. It's been a very, very good night so far. and he has scored it, Josh. It is 4-0 to Manchester United.
4-0 indeed. And just to update you as well, there are red cards across the board tonight because there's been a red card in the Ferencváros Kiev game. Now, this makes things very interesting with a couple of minutes left to go. Kiev are down to 10 men in their match. So can Ferencváros maybe get a late goal in that match? We'll have to find out.
There will be limbs if Ferencváros get any equaliser in the last minute, Josh. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been watching that game as much because this game, of course, we've had a lot of goals in the second half. I have been keeping my eye on it, but I didn't see the red card, so I can't actually talk to you about it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Kieran. I've missed a red card in my game because Juventus are down to 10 men as well. I'm just seeing the opportunity now in terms of why this red card has been given, and it's a second yellow, which has been given on Demiral. He's gone to the book. It's a 50-50 tackle, which, to be fair, it's a deserved second yellow, but Demiral is sent off in that game, and Juventus are down to 10 men. So we've both missed red cards, which isn't too bad, but as it stands, of course, Ferencváros 2-1 down to Kiev, Kiev down to 10 men, and Man United 4, RB Leipzig 0. Thank you very much, KD, for now. But going back to that point, as I said, I missed the free kick, the red card a moment ago with Demiral has been sent off. Juventus' night has gone from bad to worse. 3 disallowed goals, and they're now down to 10 men. It's been a pretty poor performance from the Italian side tonight. And I have to say, Pirlo has not really been doing a convincing job so far with the Italian side, of course. Not top of the table in Italy, not majorly being convincing in their fixtures in the Champions League so far. I guess, of course, he's still got plenty of time to try and get his squad dynamic onto the team and his tactical arrangements and systems. But Chris has put, I can't imagine Neymar and Mbappe in Europa League. It could happen. We'll have to find out, of course. And then Sasha's put referee United. Interesting call there. I mean, they are 4-0 up in that game now. So I guess they're being really quality tonight. But in terms of the actual penalty, it was a right decision. Right decision indeed to give it as a penalty. And let me update that now because Man United are battering Leipzig in that game. Well, just as I say that, we're going back again. Is it 5-0, Kieran?
Oh, I went a bit premature, Josh. It's offside. It's Edison Cavani. He scored his first goal and he was a yard offside. What is he doing if he holds his run? It is 5-0 because Fernandes has been absolutely outstanding since he's come on, nicks the ball back and just pokes it through to Cavani. And like Will said, we are stat padding. It was a really good finish from Cavani as well, but he's just offside and I'm absolutely gutted for him. I'm not going to lie. But we've got about 2 minutes left of the 90 and it could get worse.
And there's been a goal! Ferencváros 2-2! Yes! They've done it! Come on!
I'm just seeing the goal. It's such a scuffed goal. But I think it's Nguyen again. It's Tosmak Nguyen again. It's flicked across the box by number 93, who is, one second, Laiduni. And it's poked home by Nguyen. And I tell you what a massive point for Ferencváros.
And they might see, I mean, there's a couple of minutes left here if they want to try and guff the winner. And as you said, it is incredibly scuffed. But they won't care because this will be their first Champions League point of the season.
Fair play to them. They've played really well. They deserved more than the nothing they were going to get. They deserve more on the point, to be fair. But tonight, still 4 minutes left and someone's down injured, so we're probably going to have more than the 4 minutes of added time. Come on, the Varos.
Come on, the Varos indeed. It's Ferencváros 2, Kiev 2. Thank you very much, KD. Of course, incredible to see the Hungarian side looking like they're about to get their first point of the season. They might be able to try and get a winner here because there's 5 minutes of additional time. And I think we've had a penalty given in the Juventus-Barcelona game. Who's got it? The answer, it's Barcelona. Ansu Fati goes down in the box. Bonucci with a poor tackle. It's been a reckless night from this horrible backline from Juventus. Awful backline. You have to say Danilo, Demiral and Bonucci. They've been really, really poor. And a penalty is given here, which Lionel Messi is going to step up to the spot. And this will seal the victory for the Spaniards here, of course. You would expect Messi to be able to put this away. Let's see what happens here. Messi against Szczesny. Can he put this into the back of the net? Referee blows his whistle. Messi steps up to the spot. Oh, it's a lovely penalty. It's put into the top left-hand corner, and that is game, set, and match. It's not been convincing tonight again for Barcelona, but they will have 6 points out of 6. Barcelona 2, Juventus 0 on a night where Juventus will definitely want to forget things. There was a VAR penalty check in the Sevilla Rennes game, but I assume, of course, nothing was given there. There has been a substitution. Godelj is on for Jean Jordan, and we have a goal. Dortmund Zenit. Is it 1-0? Is it 2-0 to Dortmund, Kieran, or is it 1-1 to Zenit?
It's 2-0 to Dortmund, and it's one of them. It's kind of a late game goal, really, as Zenit are pushing forward. It's a long ball from Berkey up towards the strikers, and it's Jude Bellingham with a great leap to knock his header on to Erling Braut Haaland, who's not been in the game, but he does what he does. He doesn't have to be in the game for 89 minutes, but when he got tonight and he got the chance, slotted it one-on-one past Kerzhikov. Good assist by Jude Bellingham, though.
At least we've had a few goals in it. Thank you very much, Kieran L. Dortmund 2, Zenit nil, last game set and match for the German side. Of course, they're going to come away with a goal. My lord, I don't know here. We might have had 2 more goals in the Man United Leipzig game while we've been gone. Kieran, what's happened?
Gosh, I'm excited. I was moaning at him because he didn't take the penalty, but Marcus Rashford finally has a hat-trick for Manchester United. He has been electric since he's come on, and it's Bruno Fernandes again, breaks on the left-hand side, feeds Martial, back to Rashford, and he smashes it past Galaxy, and I'm so happy for him. It's 5-0 to Manchester United, and the second half has been a 5-star performance.
It has been indeed 5-0 against RB Leipzig, the Champions League semi-finalists. They're not Championship semi-finalists. Champions League semi-finalists. Thank you very much, KD, as always. What a performance tonight from Manchester United, indeed. It is going mental in the chat right now. 3 minutes of additional time in that Dortmund and Zenit game. We have got 5 minutes of additional time between Juventus and Barcelona. Juventus do have a corner here, which is lofted into the box. Morata's had a shot, but the referee's called for a free kick. And then just looking full time between Manchester United and RB Leipzig, it is a 5-star performance tonight from Man U. And you have to say, this is 100% a statement of intent from Man United here with a fantastic result against an RB Leipzig side that we saw in the semi-finals last season. And Manchester United thumped them for 5 with Marcus Rashford's first hat-trick for Manchester United. What a performance for him. And well, we were a little bit disappointed that he didn't take the penalty earlier, but he gets his hat-trick in the end. What a performance tonight from the English youngster, of course. Incredible performance tonight for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that will certainly get the Man United fans rocking. We've got 3 minutes of additional time in that game between Sevilla and Rennes as it currently stands. It is still 1-0 to Sevilla, and we should start getting full time across the board in these fixtures. An interesting night indeed. Sasha's put how many penalties given to United? I think only the one. And then Chris has put scenes of Mbappe and Neymar in the Europa League. We did talk about that earlier. It looks like it could happen indeed. And then full time in that game between Dortmund and Zenit, it is 2-0 to Dortmund. Of course, it wasn't the most enthralling night of action between these two sides, but in the end, Dortmund, they were able to get 2 goals. An important victory for them. That first 3 points on the board for the side tonight. Zenit, of course, very disappointed indeed. Didn't look like they were going to do much at all in that fixture. There has been a chance, though. It could certainly be one of the games of the night. Ferencváros Kiev. Who's had the chance, Kieran?
The corner's coming in from Ferencváros. The time's up. The keeper punches it out. Back to Ferencváros, plays. Gone for the screamer. Oh! I thought he'd done it. I thought he'd put it in the back of the net, but he smacked it over the crossbar. It's 2-2. It's over. I thought he'd scored an absolute worldie. But fair play, Ferencváros. They've come back from 2-0 down to make it 2-2. Great point for the Hungarian side. The first ever point. Absolutely incredible.
Really, really good for them indeed. Thank you very much, Katie. Bring you back in a moment. What a performance tonight from Ferencváros. But we're going to quickly go over to Rowan because there's been a chance in the game between Sevilla and Rennes. Who's had that chance, Rowan?
It's Sevilla. It's just hit full time now, but there was like 20 seconds left. En-Nesyri just full on thwacks it. Does a lovely little play, takes it past De Silva, hits it with his left. And again, the man who's probably stopped this game from being an absolute thrashing, Gomes, makes a lovely save. But full time, and this game should have been a lot more. Fair play to Stade Rennes. Gomes made incredible saves, but they just held on. They showed that grit, and they could take this into the next game. There's a bit of tussling here. Just before the final whistle, a throw went to go take and pretended to lob it in Navas's face. Bit of afters, but we're all good there. But yeah, Sevilla 1-0 winners in what should have been definitely a high scoring game, but Rennes hold on.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 1-0 to Sevilla. Good performance from them tonight. A comfortable performance in terms of the amount of opportunities that they had. Not necessarily comfortable in the amount of goals that they had, but they will be happy either way with a 1-0 win. It is full time between Juventus and Barcelona. It's a 2-0 win for Barcelona tonight. They, of course, Juventus were down to 10 men at one point in this game. Demiral with a red card late on in this match. But Barcelona tonight, once again, they were not convincing, but they come out with another 3 points. And they put the pressure on Juventus, of course, when they face each other again in a few weeks' time. Good performance tonight, of course, for Barcelona in terms of the victory. Not necessarily great in terms of the actual match itself. And then, of course, the final game to go into full-time, Club Brugge 1-1 against them and Lazio. So let's go through the full-time scores because that is it. The games are done and dusted this evening in the Champions League. It has been an interesting night of football. And as you can see on the screen right now, there were 2 games earlier on today. Krasnodar losing 4-0 to Chelsea in the early kickoff, and Istanbul losing 2-0 to PSG. And then tonight's fixtures across the board. Borussia Dortmund with a 2-0 victory against Zenit. Let's quickly bring in KL. Not the most enjoyable game tonight, but Dortmund get the win.
Yeah, it was kind of weirdly the story I played out at half time for you was just grind out a result and get out of here with the 3 points, and that's exactly what they did. Sadly for the viewer, that doesn't make an enjoyable watch, as you know, Josh, as you've seen, you got to see my bored face for 45 minutes, which was fun. But they needed to do it after a disappointing week 1. They've got foothold now in the group, and they can kick on from here with a big game against Bruges, because Bruges are actually above them in the table, as they may have a draw tonight.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you very much, Kale. Keeping the stream for now. Let's get everybody in a moment's time. So that is the 2-0 win there for Borussia Dortmund against Zenit. 1-1 between Club Brugge and Lazio tonight. We thought maybe there was going to be a chance for someone to nick the game, but unfortunately, both sides, they get a point. Do you think either side will be happy with that, Will?
Yeah. I mean, obviously one of them would have liked to have won and got 3 points, but I think it was a fair result overall. I thought Lazio were the better side in the first half. They dominated the first half an hour or so, and then Club Brugge got themselves back into it. Obviously got that penalty to make it 1-0, and then the second half was Club Brugge early, but then Lazio started pulling it back. So I think a draw on the whole is a fair result, but they both still sit first and second in the group because they're both on 4 points now. Obviously Dortmund in third on 3 points, and Zenit at the foot of the table with 0. So it's shaping up to be a very interesting group now. But yeah, I think on the whole it's a fair result, but the game took a while to liven up because there was some very, very boring spells in that game.
It did indeed. Both sides, they'll take a point tonight. Of course, Lazio losing a lot of players due to COVID. Let's go move to the next game. Sevilla 1, Rennes 0. Of course, Sevilla tonight didn't get maybe as many goals as they wanted. Rennes had to hold on pretty much for the entire 90 minutes. Didn't get anything out of the game. But Rowan, do you think Sevilla tonight will be very happy with this result?
Yeah, it's a win in the Champions League, and it gets Rev closer to getting out of the group. I think they'll be very disappointed that they didn't score more. It could have ended 5-0, 6-0. It was just Gomez having a stellar of a game. Rennes held on, and that's something they can take going to the next game, that they contained a Sevilla side who didn't stop. They were relentless. They played at the same intensity from the start of the game to the end of the game, and Rennes put in a good shift attacking. Didn't have many shining moments. Doku was probably the best attacker on the pitch. Them injuries may come back to bite them in the next fixture, but if you're both teams, you've sort of got to take, there's more positives maybe to take than negatives. It's one of them, a 1-0 game, you can't take much from it.
You can't indeed, but they'll be happy with that tonight, Sevilla. And then the 2 performances of the night, you have to admit, Manchester United with a 5-0 win against Champions League semi-finalists RB Leipzig. And then an incredible result tonight for Ferencváros. 2-2 draw against Kiev. Kiev were down to 10 men with about 10 minutes left. First of all, let's talk about the Manchester United game, KD. As a Man United fan, you must be absolutely ecstatic with that result tonight.
Oh, yeah. One of our best performances for a long, long time. It was just great from back to front, to be honest. And Marcus Rashford doing bits on the pitch and off the pitch.
Very good indeed. And of course, a dominated performance against RB Leipzig. Really good game of football. Rashford gets his first Manchester United hat-trick. You'll be delighted with that. And then Ferencváros fans, they'll be loving it tonight. 2-2 draw, first point in the Champions League. You have to say they're still well and truly within the fight to get that third place position.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to them, because when you came to me during the second Dynamo Kiev goal, I said they deserved more than to get nothing from the game because they were by far the better side, and they were just unlucky because the penalty was just, I don't know what Somalia were doing. He just booted it, miskicked it onto his own hand. And then the second goal was just a really good counter-attack. But they came back well, and they could have won the game in the last minute when I thought that guy had absolutely thundered it in from the edge of the area. But, I mean, fair play for Ferenc Varos.
Very well indeed. Fantastic performance from them tonight. So that is all of the games. You can see the scores on the bottom of your screen. Quick look at the chat. But I've put great games today, of course. Some good matches for across the board. Some games maybe not as good and enjoyable as others. But I've put shame they didn't give Rush a hat-trick with the penalty. It would have been nice confidence. But at least he did get the penalty and the hat-trick anyway in the match. And then Marshall asked, couldn't join you guys today early. It doesn't matter. It's nice to have you in the stream at the end. But you can see all the live scores on the bottom of your screen. It has been an interesting night. Of course, Man United coming out with 5 goals. Ferenc Varos with a point. And there's still plenty more content to come on the channel, as always, because as you can see on your screen right now, we've got Real Sociedad versus Napoli, which is tomorrow night, is our Europa League game from 7:45. Should be good with the Europa League. We've got a Halloween watch-along, Gladbach Leipzig. Are we going to see another spooky result in the Bundesliga? Of course, Gladbach dropped points against Real Madrid in the Champions League. And then, of course, next week, 3rd November, Groups A to D, match day 3, as we continue on the Champions League, as always. Do keep your eyes out for that. Some thrilling games, including Liverpool versus Atalanta. Should be a good match indeed. But as for now, thank you very much, boys. Thank you very much, Will, Kieran, Rowan, and KD for joining me as always. Thank you very much. And as for now, have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. We'll see you again very soon. Good night.
Bye.